Welcome everybody out there on the internet land. Welcome to the SOSCAST on Valuetainment. My name is Adam Sosnick. This is a TBT, a Throwback Thursday type of episode. I haven't said the following words in a few months, that I'm here to help you guys get paid, laid, and do it your way. Because you know what, lately we've been talking culture and politics and money and dating relationships. Today, strictly relationship.
Hey.
That's what we're talking about today. I know we got some people offended. Some girls are back there like, yeah, sign me up. We're in that for that. But welcome to the show. Amazing panel, amazing things to talk about today. So we're going to get right in. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Let me make some quick introductions. You know him, you love him. Some of you hate him. But he ain't going anywhere. Rollo Tomassi, the rational male, is in the house. Right? There he goes. I actually wore black and white, assuming that you. I know
we're doing the
yin
yang thing now.
You're all black usually.
And you're in the middle.
Yin yang thing going on. You can find Rollo and also Michael Sartain, I'm going to introduce right now, on Access Vegas, where they co-host a show together. Out there in, take a guess what city, Nat? Vegas. Okay, we're quick. We're going quick now. Access Vegas. Michael Sartain, MOA.
Yes.
Let the people out there know what MOA stands for.
Men of Action. You guys can check us out if you want to do a lot of really offensive stuff and change your entire life, level up, and piss your friends off. Join Men of Action.
Yes.
And I just want to say that I would much rather be in the forest with Rollo Tomassi than a bear.
Yes, we know what bears can do.
Depends on what kind of bear. There's a lot of bears out there. Go to South Beach, you'll find a few bears out there.
Bears.
Not grizzlies out there.
Depends what
But
kind of man.
what Michael and I were just talking about before the show, some of you guys, you get bad advice from certain people, tell you to be yourself. Michael, tell him, don't be yourself.
Yeah, like
listen.
If you'll notice that when men are incredibly good looking with six-pack abs and tattoo sleeves and they're 6'3", when they be themselves, women like them. It just seems to work out for them. And you'll notice that a lot of the influencers who are telling you to just be yourself, they're all outrageously wealthy or popular or good looking. But what you'll notice is that for the other 95% of us, if you have an issue, like for instance you're overweight, you live in your mother's basement, you watch copious amounts of pornography, you should not be yourself. You should fucking change. You should improve and get better. So anyone who's telling you to just be yourself without context is giving you bad woke advice.
Yeah.
Please stop listening.
For the 2% of you out there, they're doing crushing awesome, be yourself.
Yeah. If you have
For
an
the rest of
academy,
you guys, be a little bit better than yourself.
Yes.
Fake it till you make it. Speaking of the 1% of guys that you were talking about, they're 6'3", good looking, have abs. Ken Lang's in the house. Former professional athlete, NFL, played some ball. Now he helps men transform their lives, transformation coach. He's in the house. And you recently moved to Miami.
I've been here. I moved here 8 years ago. I moved
That's
back
right.
here for the third time.
Who's counting?
Yeah,
Can't tell time.
A year
Check
ago,
the clock.
I always moved back here. Always lived in different
But
places.
when I saw you recently, you'd come back and forth.
Exactly.
Anyway, welcome back to Miami again, officially. Hey, you know what? Do me a favor. Be yourself, bro. Just be yourself.
If I'm him, I'm
It's gonna
going
be pretty
direct.
good.
I'm going direct every fucking time.
Be yourself.
You're
Those
pretty.
are the gentlemen
Let's go
on the
home.
show. We had a little beef before the show. There was a little white on brown action going on, tan on pale action going on. What?
I'm about it. Let's do it.
Just saying.
Where were you?
Amy caught a comment, oh, you're hot, but you need a tan. She said, what? But what I said is, Amy, dude, people are going to...
Just be yourself, Amy.
Amy should be herself. That's fact. Amy Dangerfield's in the house. You know her, you love her, content creator, works here at Valuetainment now, officially, cultural, political commentary, and whether she's tan or not, she got it going on.
Thank you. Yep. I'll be here being a slightly diluted version of myself.
Why diluted?
Have a good show. No, it was a joke based on
Okay.
what we're talking about.
Gotcha.
I'll be myself.
All right. Well,
Oh, I get it.
there it is.
Thanks.
Because you're fair skinned. I got it.
Oh,
I got it.
gotcha.
Thumbs up for that one.
Speaking of tan and
I
doing
love
her best, Toria's in the house. Toria Brooke, she's back.
Yeah.
She works with, I keep saying that you work with Trump, but you don't work with Trump. You work with Kash Patel, who was Trump's
And a senior advisor.
senior advisor, just a little small little role out there at Mar-a-Lago's situation these days.
Well, you
All
know,
right. We're going to talk a
Hey.
little Trump today. Is that okay?
of course.
Are you a fan of Melania?
Of course.
Are you more of a fan of Melania or DJT?
See, that's a tough question.
Well, we're going to get to that. Stay tuned
I would
to
have to go with
SOSCAST.
Melania.
I like that.
By the way, we got a little triple threat in the house. Okay? Celebrity, stand-up comedian, actress, producer. I'm going to say her name right. Zhao Yang Summers.
You got it. That's really impressive for a guy from Florida.
That's right.
My iPhone actually changed my name to Annoying. That's also, I'm actually coming here today to give everybody COVID.
Perfect.
I ate a bed in a green room, and I heard the guys in the tight pants will get COVID tonight. Those are really tight ones.
Who has the tightest pants?
This one, the guy, I can read his crotch.
I'm glad I
Well,
wore
here's
this
the
today.
deal.
Do you like that?
Is he circumcised or not, Zhao Yang?
He's circumcised, yeah.
Okay.
If you're giving me COVID, I'm more than happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How is he going to
Come on,
get
baby.
Going
COVID?
there.
How are you going to
Right now.
transmit this COVID?
You boys are really tight pants.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who actually has the loosest pants?
I think you are pretty loose. Yeah.
That's right.
You're
Keeping
loose.
it loose.
You're loose,
There's a lot going on there. We
Tighten
gotta
it
keep
up.
it
Tighten it up, buddy.
Tighten it up. Zhao Yang in the house. By the way, where do you live?
I live in Los Angeles.
Okay. There's Asians in LA?
Yeah, they came there.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're out there. Anyway,
Yeah.
they're coming through the border. They're coming into New York. They're coming to LA.
Yeah.
We love you. We love the Asians. Where are you from? In the
China.
China.
Yes.
What city?
Henan is the biggest population. It's below Beijing. It's a big.
What's it called?
Henan.
How do you spell it?
Henan.
Oh, Hunan. I say Hunan.
Hunan is another place that's
But
below
just as long
Henan.
as you're not from Wuhan. Okay.
And we have been demonetized.
And there it was. We love all that. Here's what I
Bye,
say.
you too.
I said this all the time. We're not not us.
Wait for the first 5 minutes, Adam.
It's not racist if you make fun of everybody.
Yes, that's
If you
a
only
good
single
point.
somebody out, then you got a problem. You know who I hate? Just one group, the Jews. What? No. The Asians, the Mexicans, the this, the that. I love you all and I hate you all at the same time. That's, to me, comedy. That's fair. That's fair and balanced. Okay. We also got one of the most talented people that's ever been on the show. Slow Jams is in the house, a.k.a. Maya Banks, a.k.a. Slow Jams, a.k.a. she's going to freestyle and rap whenever we want her to.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's right.
Yeah, for free for some reason, yeah.
But the only catch is she's super loud, so hide your ears. Because when she talks, she's on like this and she's going to motherfucking slow jam. Motherfucking what?
I'm not super loud, but my body be on that super loud.
Turn me up my headphones for Slow Jams. By the way, she was a former tax preparer, from what I recall.
Well, now,
But now
believe it or not, I'm an art teacher.
she's an art
I know that's
teacher.
so such a transition. I know.
That's good. There's types of transitions that you can go through. Some are a little frowned upon these days, but you do you. But we're a big fan of Slow Jams. At some point, I'm going to have you rap today.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Newcomer to the show. I got to say all three names because I said your name is Jasmine Rosado. Jasmine Houston Rosado. She's in the house. G checked me. Yes? No? Maybe?
She said hi.
Hi. Okay, she's a copywriter and author, and she does marketing for brands. Anything else that we should know about you?
Just that I love writing and I love really taking brands to the next level so that way they can be effective with their goals and their strategies.
I love that. You have a very feminine voice. That's
Thank
much
you.
needed these days. And last but not least, who else here? Rayan, make it rain, I make it rain. In
Hi,
the house.
hi, I'm
She came late,
Rain.
but she's still great. She's the owner of a social media agency, lifestyle vlogger, and she has a series called My Unaesthetic Life.
Welcome to my unaesthetic life.
That's
yeah.
right. Tell us about it.
Well, I started it in New York about like 3 years ago because I had no friends, and then it became viral, and now I'm here.
Nice.
There she goes.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Speaking to somebody that had no friends and then I met her, now she's the most popular person on TV. Natalia Davai is in the house.
Howdy, hi,
How we
everybody.
doing?
I'm doing great. I'm super excited today.
Yeah.
This is an episode.
We got Rollo, we
that-
got Michael, we got
yeah,
Kim.
we've got everybody in the
Everybody's
house.
here.
Yeah, it's going to be a really great show.
And Jane Russell's in the house.
Jaden
We know what's
Russell's in
going
the
on
house.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, happy
Nat?
SOSCAST Day.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, do all that fun stuff to the channel, and give us some chats today. We've got the perfect panel for the chats.
Oh, we want the chats.
So give us the chats. We're going to be
Who's
reading
handling the
them.
chats? Amy, Natalia, both. It's a team effort,
We'll
yes?
do team effort. We'll do team effort.
Hold hands for a second.
We should
That's a
read
black
them.
on brown
Oh, she
thing
was trying
right
to do
there.
the fingers.
White on brown right
Oh my
there.
gosh, I didn't know.
We're gonna
Alejandra, let's pull up the Minnect thing real quick.
Yes.
Last but not least, she's a woman of few words, but when she is on the screen, she lights up the screen.
Yes.
Alejandra Jimenez in la Casa de Colombia. ¿Qué pasó, mami?
She's so cute.
Look at that smile.
Yes.
She's cuter in person, I tell you.
everybody.
Is looking good. By the way, if you want to connect with me or with any of the experts on Minnect, connect with us here. Candace Owens just joined. Chris Cuomo just joined. We're doing a massive debate in 2 weeks with Chris Cuomo and Dave Smith.
Yep.
PBD, Vinny, the Biz Doc. I don't know why you guys aren't out there. You'd be printing money on this thing.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's get you guys signed
Okay.
up.
I'm on there too.
Even Nat's on there.
I'm on there.
Scroll down fast. Boom, boom, boom. Who's on there? There's Cuomo. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Krishan Matsupala. Kelly's in the house. Michael Francis. Vivek is on there. Bradley, Sammy the Bull,
Brad's on.
Jen. Okay. You get the
good-looking
point here.
people on
Brian
there.
Callen's on there.
Really good looking people.
But anyway,
on
go
there.
back to that first guy. Who was that first guy you showed?
First guy.
The first guy?
The first one.
The first one that you pulled up? Alejandra?
I think they're
On
switching.
Minnect?
It's up. They're switching it.
This is where you talk and say, I don't know who it is.
Just do it!
Oh, that guy.
That
My
guy.
bad.
Who's that guy?
Holy shit, the suspense was killing me. What's my rating these days?
4.93.
I'm sorry, guys. I got to do better. I'm only at a 4.93. My Uber rating,
Damn.
I don't know. I think someone threw up in the back of my Uber doing a Minnect. I don't know. I got to get to 5.0. But connect with me on Minnect, business, finance, relationship stuff that I've learned from these guys, and all that. And just general life advice. Find us on Minnect. Guys, that was the introduction. We're done. We ready to start the show?
Rock and roll.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Ready.
So, Biden about a month ago did the State of the Union address. I want to talk to Rollo because this is someone that I view as someone who is reasonable, rational, credible, and a voice of reason. I want to get to the understanding of the State of the Red Pill address.
Oh boy.
Is that cool? But here's I'm going to
Okay.
tee up this question, and then you're going to go. But it's a long question, and Michael and Keenan, the ladies, are going to weigh in. So, by the way, does everyone have a thumbs up, thumbs down? Do we have
Yes,
one of these
sir.
things?
I don't
I
have
actually
one.
genuinely want to
I
get
don't have one.
an understanding. We'll get this.
I'll get another one.
How many of you guys, don't even just say yes or no, how many of you guys have heard of the Red Pill or Manosphere? Heard of it? Okay, great.
Well
Okay.
done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, put up green if you're like, okay, cool, I've heard of it and it's good, I like it. Put up red if you're like, it's not my thing, kind of a negative connotation. Hold them up high. Girls, don't make me treat you like you're in elementary school. Hold up your signs.
I've heard of it.
Perfect. Great. Okay, so it's sort of mixed. But the reason that I have Rollo here, because actually Rollo's people don't remember this. Over 2 years ago, you taught me what Red Pill was. And it made sense to me because I worked in nightlife my whole life, intersexual dynamics. I got it, I caught on quick, but I got to give credit
February of 2022, if
There it was.
memory serves.
2.5 years
Yes.
ago.
Yes.
Incredible. And I was like, what's going on? And then boom. So I will always give him credit where credit is due, 100%. And then Michael, Red Pill adjacent. I've learned this thing. I don't know where Kean is in this. I know you do relationships. I want to hear you have to say. But here's what we got going on. And Rollo, for those of you guys don't know, he's been described as, I don't even know if you call yourself this, the Godfather of the Red Pill.
I inherited the name.
Inherited the name. The rational male, Access Vegas. We'll talk about that. But here's what I want to kind of go to. It's a long question, so bear with me, and then you're going to have all the time in the world. So there's a lot of content out there that's saying that the red pill is dying. But I've heard you say things like, dude, with iterations of the red pill,
just goes
especially
through cycles, yes.
Goes through cycles. So it was pretty interesting when I saw people like in the red pill, like Allie. Do we have a clip of Allie? She said that the red pill is imploding. What's Allie's? Allie Drummond. So yeah, she said red pill is imploding. We don't need to play the clip. Then we have Destiny, who's been on the show a million times. You've done debates with Destiny. He's done a whole thing about how no woman wants a red pill guy. I don't know about that. But then those are some people kind of talking trash about the red pill, if you will. But you've also talked about grifters coming and going. But I'm going to go rapid fire here. Andrew Tate. I don't even know if he considers himself
He's
red
been
pill.
kind of distancing himself from it recently.
He's been distancing it, but I mean, is there
but
anybody?
when they say red pill,
Yeah.
they do mean Andrew Tate.
Gotcha.
They don't like the people who are saying. So the content is created when you started that forum like in 03, when you were on that forum in 03. That's what red pill is. But what it's been bastardized to is like, oh, those red pill guys. But they're talking about things like he gets blamed for things that Pearl Davis says.
I clean up everybody's mess.
And that's why. That's what the question. Perfect. So Andrew Tate, the latest thing with Tate, and believe me, we've interviewed him twice. I have my perspective. Shoot it down if you want. I think. Feel free. I think it's all sort of a sham of what's going on over there. Allegedly. He's obviously been canceled. He's been jailed. PBD and I flew out to interview him in Madrid, in Romania. We've done this. Now he's dealing with new charges. He's sued by these British women for graping. That's what I feel about that. There you go. Fresh and Fit. You guys were just on Fresh and Fit last night. Leader in the space, demonetized from YouTube. We saw what happened with them. That was how many months ago?
I don't know.
At least 8 months ago.
Yeah.
8 months ago. Okay. Fresh and Fit demonetized. Pearl. She's been on the show a bunch of times. Pearl Davis, also demonetized. Okay, these are people that I would say are definitely red pills. For some reason, whatever has never done anything, and you guys are
Yeah,
on
so
Access
I mean,
Vegas.
they
Oh
don't
my-
really whatever
Then
does it
there's-
push the envelope like that.
Alejandro, do you have any of these?
They're not really red pill when you hear most of Brian's
Okay.
opinions.
Yeah.
No.
There's
Super
Fresh
Red
and
Pill.
Fit. We know what happened with them. Pearl, I believe we have that. But I'm going to go deeper, and then I'm going to turn it over to you, Rollo. Because these are sort of like the bigger names. Tate, Fresh and Fit, Pearl, you guys. Then you have sort of like other players in this that I don't know as well, or that maybe people don't know as well, but there's a lot of beef going on. Like this guy, there's competing manosphere conferences.
Sure.
Right? Anthony the Dream Johnson, I've never met him, never spoken to him. He
That
calls himself-
conference is now defunct, but
Okay, so
but
exactly. So
continue,
they
yeah.
have now been literally canceled. But they have beef with Donovan Sharp, and he hosts the CME, which is the conference
of masculine
for masculine excellence. So
I know,
they're
I
going
can't-
back and forth. Anthony's calling him Donovan Sharp. He's calling him this and that. Like, I don't get in this, but someone we have on the show, MLD, Modern Life Dating, I literally don't know what he's doing these days. I haven't seen him do much content. I think he's out there in Tokyo being a passport bro. Best of luck to him. And I'll circle this back because I said the red pill dying, whatever. The reason I even started knowing about this right before you was Kevin Samuels, who unfortunately literally died. So here we go. This is the question. What is going on with the red pill? Is it dying? Is it going to make a comeback? Your thoughts.
Okay. So in March of 2021, I was on Fresh and Fit, and I think it was like the second or the third time I've been on the show. And the topic that we were talking about was, is the red pill going to go mainstream? I've used this clip of like half a dozen different times on my show and just sort of lead up to the topic at hand here. During that conversation, they asked me, is the red pill going mainstream? And my answer to both of them was, I hope not. Because the red pill, to remain legitimate, to remain useful, to be effective, has to be under the radar. And now we're seeing exactly why I was saying this back in 2021. And as part of that conversation, I said the reason for this is because if people will come into the red pill and they will use the red pill as sort of a loose brand, or it's not a registered trademark. Anybody can use the word red pill. And so I was trying to take them back as far as like, say, 2015, 2016 election cycle at that time. So Candace Owens, for example, that you were mentioning just up before, her Twitter handle in 2015 was Red Pill Black.
Right.
She was using the term red pill as far back as 2015.
And I'm going to let you go, but there's red pill has been used in the political spectrum, but
Right.
also in the dating spectrum.
Right, yes. And that's where
but
they
she
picked
kind of
it
does
up.
crossover with both.
Well, that's
with
because
both.
because the thing is when the kids are using red pill, like when that's the topic du jour, the term du jour, and you have a political system that wants to reach out to like certain voters. Well, what are the kids saying? If it was MRAs, if it was MGTOW, they would have used MGTOW at that time. If it was red pill, they'll use red pill.
And for the ladies
So
that
red pill
don't know,
becomes
MGTOW
anything.
stands for what exactly?
Men going their own way.
And that's like a black pill. Like I'm not even
Yeah,
dealing with
well,
ladies anymore.
the point
which
is like
kinda wild.
the point is if it's a hashtag and it's a trending hashtag at that time, they will use that moniker for whatever it is that they want to. So if you're alt-right, if you're pro-Trump, if you're MAGA, if you're right now, if you're like an ortho bro or a Christ pill bro, whatever, everything's red pill. Everything literally is red pill. So any person that comes around and wants to take that term and that brand and use it for whatever it is that they're doing, because what they'll do is they'll bastardize the term into meaning like I'm right, you're wrong. It's a truth that is discovered, right? If you ever watch The Matrix, if you watch, it's a blue pill and the red pill, right? The blue pill is what you used to think was true, and the red pill is what's really true. And so what happens is that if you have some sort of pet ideology and you really are, convicted about your beliefs, that's red pill. So I was trying to explain this to them back then. I said, well, what's going to happen is people will come into this space, especially in the intersexual dynamic space, because when I talk red pill, the first instance of me using the term red pill was on the SOSWAP forums in 2004. I've been doing.
Who first used the term red pill other than the Matrix?
Well, no, the Matrix really is where it's from. But right after that, we're talking about the forum years when it was like Mystery Method and it was the alt fast seduction forums.
What year did the game come out with Neil Strauss?
That was published in 2005. So all of the events that happened in that book took place in 2003, 2004, 2002, somewhere in there.
And by the way, obviously you read that book. You read that book. The Game?
I know Neil.
Yeah,
you know Neil.
We just had mystery. They just had mystery on.
I just had mystery on my
show.
show.
I mean, a must read for young men who want to. What are these things called again?
Women.
Okay,
yes.
my bad.
What the
Yes.
fuck?
Yeah, we actually call you women too.
Gotcha.
No, it's like, so what happens is you have to track through the history here, because if you go back to the seduction days, if you go to the old pickup artists from the mid 2000s like Mystery, Neil Strauss, I mean VH1 had what the pickup artist show and everything, and
so
that evolved into what we now call the red pill.
But wasn't
manosphere.
that so? This let me hone in on this because I asked you if the red pill was dying, and you said there's been.
No, I don't think
said-
it's not dying.
Okay, not dying, but you said there's been different.
Well,
waves of it?
there's cycles. Okay,
Cycles,
so
cool. So
I've been
let-
doing this probably longer than anybody else has. Okay,
This is why I said I wanted to
beyond
hear
like
you
say
out.
Mystery
Yes.
and some of these other guys, but as far as like the evolution of the manosphere, I've watched this happen for 22 years, 23 years now, and so I was trying to relate to them was the last election cycle during 2019 to 2020. Everybody who was in the red pill space wanted to pivot into politics and into social issues, which is exactly what we're saying right now.
So-
everybody wants to turn the red pill into their social ideology, their pet name for their whatever their pet social ideology happens to be. So anything, literally anything right now can be called red pill because it's just there to appeal to a certain audience.
Okay, but I want to understand one thing, and then I want to get Michael because Michael describes himself as red pill adjacent. I don't know where Kian is on this, but I know that you help men improve, so I want to get your opinion. The mainstream thing. You could argue that, all right, it went mainstream when Neil Strauss wrote the book. All right, it was a very popular book. Kind of mainstream when you're on VH1 or MTV. It's
already
pretty
there.
pop culture. Kevin Samuels kind of made it cool and mainstream. And then obviously you've been doing this forever, but then Tate took it to a whole nother level, and even Fresh and Fit.
And they
So
take it.
I guess my argument is it's
commercialize
been mainstream for different iterations, different cycles.
Well,
but now is it
you
officially
also-
mainstream?
Well, you also have to know that it's evolving with the technology at that time. So back in the pickup artist days, there was no Twitter, there was
Just
no
books.
social media.
Yeah.
Those were the forum years where everybody would get together on a forum and compare notes on that forum. Then it was the blog years, and that's when I started the Rational Male blog. From there, we go on to into the YouTube years and then the social media, Instagram, Twitter,
Yeah.
all that good
And
stuff.
that's obviously how
so,
Tate
so
blew
it's
up.
become exponentially, more and more people are aware of it. What I'm saying is that the original intention of it was strictly, when I talk about the red pill, it's strictly intersexual dynamics. It's female nature, male nature, evolutionary psychology, sociology, anthropology. You've asked me in this show a 1,000 different times, give us the elevator pitch for the red pill. There is no elevator pitch. It is a college major is what it is, okay? It is not a bumper sticker. It's not like, I'm red pill, here it is.
Unfortunately, kids are dropping out of college and we're seeing that they're getting indoctrinated, not educated.
Exactly.
So as much as it's like, nope, you got to take the whole class, the whole course. Someone's like, can I just get the Cliff Notes, bro?
Exactly.
But I get
And the Cliff Notes are much easier to monetize and commercialize than it is to actually pay attention to what the hell is going
and
on.
then they add a prescription to them as well, right? And that's the biggest
exactly.
difference between you guys and so many other people I've seen in the space. A lot of the people who've got cancelled is you guys don't give prescriptions.
No.
When people start giving prescriptions and they start injecting their own beliefs into those prescriptions, that's where things really go on there.
That's the difference between best practices and what we're like. The red pill is what I've called a praxeology. It is not an ideology. It is not a philosophy. It is not a belief set. It is not a religion. It is not a cult. It is not whatever your system of belief happens to be. And the reason why people want to turn it into that is because that's the only way they can understand it.
Yeah.
They have to say your philosophy, your beliefs, or you preach. It's never teach. You preach.
Right.
This, right.
like
so,
Abba and preach?
Well, no. I mean, as far as like sermonizing,
But
right?
let me get
because
Sartain's
that's the only
perspective.
way they can understand it.
Sartain, Michael Sartain. What I think I like about you guys is you don't always agree on everything.
Yeah.
It's like if you ever see me and PBD, we're constantly PBD, like, it's kind of hard to argue with the CEO, the boss. But I get my licks in. But he's the man. I get it. But you guys don't always agree. And you don't even describe yourself as red pill. You call yourself red pill adjacent.
I am red pill in that it is a
But is the
derivative.
red pill dying?
No. So here's the way it works. It's this phenomenon for anyone who's watching this. Anytime you hear someone say the red pill is dying, notice it is a person who did not like the red pill in the first place. So even though Andrew Tate will say, I'm not red pill, if Andrew Tate says something you don't like, then you put Andrew Tate in the same category with everyone else you don't like. Does that make sense? And now something that some random content creator said that you found to be misogynistic, now you pin that on every single other person. It's really, it's almost a form of like, it's almost a form of like YouTube bigotry, if you want to call it that. So anything you don't like causes school shootings. That's the way it works. Anything you disagree with. So for instance, because someone disagrees with something that Rollo said, or Rollo said something mean to them on Twitter or X or something like that, therefore all red pill is this. But just notice one more time, whenever you hear somebody say red pill is dead, it's never, when you hear someone in the red pill say it's dead, then maybe you could listen. But whenever it's someone who never wanted it to be fruitful in the first place saying it, then you probably should take that with a grain of salt.
So do you mean Destiny specifically?
I mean, Destiny's one of them, but here's another one.
But also, Allie Drummond was, I met her at the CME with
these are people who don't have the depth of experience to know the cycles and how things go through.
So,
come November 6th, when everybody suddenly is all done with social issues and politics and everything else, trust me, 2025 is exactly when this stuff is going to come right back around again.
I'm going to ask you an interesting question in a second.
All right, so you guys understand the concept. Like, it's people who never wanted this to work in the first place. Here's the second thing that's happening. So big tech severely does not like this content, and so they start demonetizing and ratioing certain people. So now they're artificially taking down certain people's engagement, and then they have their talking heads state things like the red pill is dying. So just imagine if I'm at Meta and I'm like, I don't like this content, therefore we're going to ratio this certain type of content, and then we're going to have people who support our side of the political aisle say, do you see that type of content? Do you see how it's getting less traction? That's because it's dying. That's what's going on.
Michael, do you mean to tell me that big tech would do something like that, and shadow ban and push down the algorithm? I don't. Big tech. Come on, Michael.
You know what's so funny? Like, I talk about this is when you overreact to certain things, right? So I think the right overreacts in certain cases. One of the biggest mistakes that the left made, probably in the last decade, was all these different social media platforms deplatforming Andrew Tate in the same hour.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
That so for instance,
I was there interviewing the guy when it happened.
Consider this. Before it was
insane.
A guy saying there's a conspiracy against me, and everybody's like, yeah, sure, a conspiracy against you. Sound like a nutbag. And then he loses all of his accounts from publicly traded companies that have no equity in one another. He loses all of his accounts in the same hour. Now it's not a conspiracy anymore. Now you understand what you're against. So now one more time, we have a type of content that big tech doesn't want to see. They've been open about not wanting to see it. That's why they put him on a DHS watch list. They talk about divert hate and all this other stuff. So we know what their agenda is. That's fine. Everyone gets to have an agenda. There's nothing illegal about that. But now we know what your agenda is. We also know you control the algorithm, which controls traffic. And then you start to ratio that traffic and then have your talking heads state things like, it's dying. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing I want to say is the concept of the red pill is dead is ridiculous, because what it is it's a discussion of intersexual dynamics. That can't go away. What they're saying is the things I don't like about red pill, which is like men yelling at women or whatever, that is becoming less popular. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But my point is, it's like saying that gravity is dead. Where it's like saying that, like after Charles Darwin discovers the concepts of natural selection, now natural selection is no longer popular anymore. Natural selection is true whether or not you believe in it, and so is gravity. And so the concepts of intersexual dynamics, like whether or not hypergamy is real, hypergamy exists even if you don't agree with it.
Yes.
Okay, that's the issue, right? And so from those standpoint, something like that can't die. That is it a derivative of evolutionary psychology? This is why I always talk about.
They can't die, but they could suppress the views.
Exactly.
That's what happened.
By the way, I was certainly do suppress the views
with Tate, and I remember asking him the question. And he said it was Meta, it was Facebook, and then it was Instagram, and then it was YouTube.
No,
and it was TikTok.
I think he told me he lost his Uber, bro.
And then it was
I was texting Andrew the
Airbnb, and then it was Stripe, and then I was like, Uber?
Yeah, bro. I was texting Andrew the day it happened.
Yeah.
And he told me I lost my Uber. I was like, your Uber? That's crazy, man.
Anyway, let me bring in Kian for a second, because Kian, do you consider yourself red pill or no?
No, I think based off the general idea of what society considers red pill, I would say I'm the next level above that.
Really?
Now, yes, and that's where a lot of guys that have been in red pill for a long time find me. They've hit a point, they've hit a ceiling in which they can't go any deeper within themselves, because they've already mastered the outside game. They've mastered the conversations with women. They mastered how to have a lot of money. They mastered how to have a lot of success, but they want to go deeper. And I think that's what the red pill is actually missing, is a level of depth and self-understanding and self-discovery that it needs to take on to be able to continue to evolve. And I think it's a great thing. I mean, it's amazing. It's an amazing thing, but can only take men so far. And I think it has to evolve in a way where men have to learn how to establish deeper levels of intimacy with themselves by knowing themselves more. And for them to be able to have relationships with women that are long-lasting, they have to be able to have a greater understanding of themselves emotionally to be able to not fuck up their situation with a girl they really like.
Okay.
Because that's what a lot of the men that are in the red pill come to me when they get into a situation with a girl they really like, and now they're emotionally unregulated because they no longer can put up a front to try to prevent themselves from really allowing their true self or their unconscious self from being projected onto that woman.
So here's my question. You're saying the next level above the red pill. Now, is this an actual concept, or is it just like this is your class that you teach them? What is that next level?
This is just something I've made up. Now, I know Rollo, obviously, he said what it is. It's not necessarily what society says, but it's on the next level to what society says that it kind of is. Does that make sense?
Do you remember what Amy said a little bit ago about the prescription? There's a description and then there's a prescription. And so what he and I do mostly is description. We have a saying in the military where we talk about regulation and procedure. Regulation is regulation. I am stating a thing, you will do this thing or you will go to jail. Procedure is how you choose to, when you want to put the gear down or when you want to execute. When it's procedure, you state it's procedure, and when it's a regulation, you state it's a regulation. When we're stating the concept that 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women, that's a description. Right. The idea that I don't want to date a woman who has multiple kids or has a body count over 90, that's a prescription. But it doesn't necessarily, but when we differentiate the two, we state that it's a differentiation. If I have a guy come to me and he's like, hey man, I married a woman, she has 3 kids, it turned out to be the greatest decision of my life, I would be nothing but happy for the guy because we're not judging them. It's discernment without judgment. That's the difference. So what he's talking about before, he's not wrong. It's just that the red pill's place is to, it's like when you read Principia by Isaac Newton, he doesn't sit there and tell you how to use gravity. Right. He just tells you what gravity is.
It's the Chilton manual is what it is. It's like how to put the car back together. What are all the pieces to the car? That's really how I described it in my book. The other thing I was going to say is that in the introduction of every single one of my books, I mentioned this. I say, I am not in the business of making men better men. I'm in the business of educating and equipping men with this information so you can become a better man with using these tools. I liken it to having, I give you an easel, I give you the paint brushes, I give you the paints, I give you the turpentine, I give you everything else. You're the canvas. You are going to use those tools to go and paint the picture of what's going to end up being you, rather than going and having a paint by number where everybody says, okay, you put the yellow here, you put the red here, and it's like whatever the number.
You need 50 bodies, you need X, Y, Z.
Exactly.
Yes.
That is a practice. And so like when I'm talking about the red pill as a praxeology, it is simply here's what is. It's not what ought to be, not what should be. And too many people, if you give them information, if you give them data, if you give them those tools, and you don't tell them how to fucking feel about it, they will hate you for that.
Yeah. So go back to what he said, the 50 bodies that Myron said before. Okay, that when Myron says that, there's no tablet or data point or Microsoft Word document that then therefore states 50 bodies is now red pill dogma or red pill scripture. Yeah. He's just stating his fucking opinion. That's all that happened.
And even then it's an exaggeration.
But because but because he's friends with Rollo, and therefore I don't like Myron. Myron said something I don't like. Therefore everything that I heard that I don't like is now red pill. Everyone who says something I don't like is now red pill. Anything I disagree with is now red pill. And because I'm a political progressive and I don't like Republicans, all Republicans are red pill. That's what happens. It starts to spread. Well, it becomes the shape of whatever you need it to be to fight your enemy.
Well, people like the people in boxes. Like I always say this whenever you see Fox News or CNN, I'd always say, why don't they put a disclaimer that this isn't the news, this is opinion.
Opinions. Yeah.
They don't do that. So whether it's Hannity, whether it's Tucker, whether it's Anderson Cooper, these are their opinions. This isn't the news. This isn't the facts. This isn't Walter Cronkite. So whether it's Rollo, whether it's Fresh and Fit, these are their opinions. Last question for Keena, then I want to get the ladies in here. You said, hey, look, I don't think you like dissed the red pill. You said it kind of got me to where I was, but I took it to another level, essentially, what you said. You're basically saying that there's levels to this game. Where do you see this evolution of the red pill? What praise would you give it? And what is missing the mark in your estimation?
Well, I think it intros men to how things work at a fundamental level and how nature works and how the male-female dynamic works. But I believe to continue to go deeper into getting what you want with a woman, and if you want to build something with a woman, it requires a greater level of understanding of your own emotional dysregulation. And so the red pill stuff, it can teach men a lot of tools, but I'm the one that they come to say, hey, I have all these tools. I think I know how they work. I help them discover who they really are underneath the layers of who they have been that isn't the best version of themselves that we were talking about earlier. Don't really be who you are if you're a piece of shit in your mom's basement.
Do you mean they're already deregulated, or do you mean like they don't have control of their emotions?
They don't. I think we all have emotional stories that we build on top of, and I think that's what the red pill does. It teaches you how to play the games to build on top of.
Well, I think life gives you stories, that you believe. No, I
Correct.
understand what you're saying.
Are you basically saying to filter this down that men need to get in touch with their soft side?
No, I'm not saying soft side. You need to understand your programming. We all have programming that exists that prevents us from getting certain things in our lives. If we don't understand our programming,
I look at it this way. So when the red pill praxeology is giving you the data sets, it's not telling you what to do. And again, like I said, if you give people that and you don't tell them, like you give them information and you don't tell them how to feel about it, then that's when they hate you for that. But the thing is the red pill is not a practice. It's just the data set. A practice would be MRAs, MGTOWs, the white pill. Maybe what you're doing is
Pink
those.
pill.
So what it is we've got this information. Now that we have this information, what are the best practices that we can use to put this together?
Yeah.
For instance, I've been in a 27-and-a-half-year marriage. That's very, very good, very, very satisfying. I've got a daughter who got married as well. I think we discussed this on the last show. And
I can't wait to call you Grandpa Rollo.
Yeah,
bro.
right. I know.
You're Uncle Rollo now.
No, I'm not there yet. No, but like when I go and I'm debating like somebody who's a little bit more like a traditional conservative, I don't fit their mold. I've been married, in most cases, I've been married longer than they have, like than Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh and the rest of these guys. And so, but I'm the godfather of the red pill, so I can't be red pill because I'm married, right?
Yes.
And I can't be married because I'm red pill.
Yes.
For people who are like sort of black pill doomers, that's also a practice. They take the information and they run with it with whatever it is that fits their sort of their mentality or their belief set or their ideology.
It's
at
confusing.
That time. And so
it's inconvenient.
so if you don't tell them how to feel about it, not only will they hate you, they'll take that information and they'll find out. They'll tell you what they think.
They try to use it against you. I've seen all the people who've done that to you.
Just by you saying it and mentioning it, that means you're trying to convince them of something, sell them something.
Let's get the ladies involved, and then we're going to go to the next question. So some of you guys sitting quiet, patiently, amazing. I promise you, you're going to have your chance. But Amy, let me focus on you because you know this. Some of these girls are like, I don't even know what the hell red pill is, and that's fine. Some say...
I want to talk about the bear.
That's right. Some say that the red pill is just a natural response. It's a mirror image to what's going on in modern feminism these days.
Sure.
What would you say to that?
For me, where I derive the most value from the red pill is what these guys are referring to, which is just the fundamentals of evolutionary psychology. Like our brains are predispositioned and wired to be a certain way by virtue of, number one, just how our brains are, but then also by virtue of how our society is. And so to your point there, Adam, and what you just asked me, yes, the red pill has become increasingly more necessary because of the way society is. It does provide a description that helps men and women, I think. Like, I've benefited so much from learning about the red pill. In the sense that, I used to be a little bit of what we call a boss babe. Unintentionally, there were a lot of feminist traits that I unknowingly exhibited throughout my life. And taking in this information, having a deeper understanding of evolutionary psychology helped me to get a grasp on that, which as a result helped me with the relationship that I was in. That relationship didn't last, but taking this information that I have, I know that it's going to benefit me immensely in my marriage, raising my children, and everything in between. So I think it's a great thing. I agree there's bastardizations of it, correct? But that's
Amy,
not red pill.
Last thing for you, because I want to get the ladies involved here. If you could filter down the best piece of information, because it's a lot different from a man says, women, you got to understand this, women got to understand this. A lot of women tune out factor, they're gone. That's like when women tries to tell a guy what to do, we're like, shut your mouth.
Submission.
Okay,
Submission.
so
For a
women,
woman,
what is
submission.
it? What's the one thing?
Learn the power of submission. So many women have this ingrained ego trip, where as soon as they are corrected by a man, whether it be somebody at work, whether it be their partner, whether it be anybody, right? They automatically have this reflex, like angry kind of reaction to it automatically. Dude, submission, fully understanding the power of submission, being in your feminine, is one of the most advantageous things that any woman could ever do.
Now, there's a famous phrase that, Rollo taught me this, that if you submit, I'll commit. I've said this a million different times.
Yes.
Natalia knows this. I'm like, who's ready to submit? But when you girls hear the word submit, does that just send, tingles up your spine? Or all right, I'll submit to the right man? Yes? No?
Ew, gross. That's disgusting.
Oh, my goodness.
I think it's the most disgusting shit ever. I think I submit when I want to, and I don't because I learned something from a book. I feel like a woman have different kind of happiness. Some women want a good, like those handsome men, rich, taking care of you. You live a good life. You have a good husband. Some women want success and power. I want power, success. I'm in the rich man I want to marry, and I make $1 million a year. I'm happy. I have 2 kids. I can get any good dick I want, and if there's a good guy want me, he want me for who I am. I don't give a fuck. And Judy told me she went to her husband. She poked him on the cheek. Hey, you come here. And they are happily married forever. I think it's just depends on just be who you are, bitch. Be who you are, and choose what makes you happy. If for my life, finding a man who's rich and handsome like these guys make me happy, I'll submit like a little bitch. I think good for them, but not for everybody. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, that's a mic drop moment right there. Let's move on. Amazing, incredible. Now the ladies are gonna get a chance to respond. Thank you guys for that awesome conversation. Stop being a little bitch, according to our friend over here. We just had a great conversation about the red pill. Now I want to understand how red pill mixes with politics. We talked about red pill black a little bit. So here's a question. Is Trump red pill? Or did Trump get red pilled? Or is there still something for potential future president, again, Donald Trump, to learn about the red pill? Obviously, money, status, net worth, highest position in the land, billionaire, married 3 times. 5 kids. He's on his 3rd marriage. He's 77 now. If he gets elected, he'll be 78. Melania is 23 years younger, so she's 54, and damn, she looks good. We'll get there in a second. So everyone knows about Trump, everything that's going on with the re-election, with everything he's doing with the rallies, with the trials. Toria knows a thing or two about this. You're hanging out in Mar-a-Lago. But where's Melania these days? You haven't seen a lot of Melania. So you girls are all going to pretend to be Melania in this context. Ready? Alejandro, you ready to go rapid fire? Yeah. That's right. That's my girl.
Ready.
Si, senora. So number 1, the first story is Melania is surprisingly not at court. She apparently doesn't want to show up to court to prevent any negative coverage. All good. Makes sense. But, there was a famous song, Stand By Your Man. Tammy Wynette, country song. But she's not really with them these days. But they have been married for 20 years almost. Where am I going with this? She also has no plans of being involved in Trump's political agenda. Do we have that story? Quote unquote, here it is. She's quote unquote not comfortable being around this, and she's just rather be left alone. Here's some of the details. She remains quote unquote angry. This is from one of her aides, allegedly. We love that word these days. And doesn't want to hear about the alleged hush money payments regarding Trump's alleged affair with Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal. Everyone forgets about Karen, who's kind of hotter than Stormy, but that's besides the point. Which supposedly happened, here's the catch, ladies, pay attention, because you're the Melania Trump in this story, which happened in 2006. By the way, Melania and Trump got married in 2005. She gave birth to Barron Trump 2006, and the alleged cheating happened shortly after she gave birth to Barron. And quote unquote, she's aware of who her husband is. Here's my question for you, ladies. Put yourself in Melania's shoes. Now, there's another story that their marriage at this point is just for business, not pleasure. Here's some of these stories. Credible outlets.
So they're the Clintons now.
They're the Clintons, exactly. So be careful what you say that about. You might get Hillary. So they're allegedly not intimate, and her purpose is to keep the look of a happy home and marriage when Trump runs again. So ladies, grab your little flags, green and red, because this is all about you.
Yay.
Go ahead, grab them, hold them high. If you were Melania, and you know what Trump has done and what he said and what he's allegedly done, would you stay with Trump or would you leave Trump? Green if you're staying, red if you're going. You're Melania. Hold it up. You're staying, you're staying, you're staying, you're staying, you're staying, you're staying. And then our friend from LA,
Hold it up, Nat.
Zhao Yang,
Yeah.
she says, why are you leaving Melania Zhao Yang? Donald Trump.
Well, I think is that the deal is not good enough. Like I hope I renegotiated the prenup. I'm gonna keep going, just like support. I think if staying, she should show up every event to support her husband. That's a real wife.
Yeah.
Or just fucking leave. Take your money and leave. I think halfway is disgusting.
Okay, so you think she should renegotiate her prenup?
Yeah, renegotiate the money and show up and support your husband all the way.
Okay, well, there's actually another story that we're going to show you in a second that she quietly did renegotiate her prenup. I believe we have that story. Boom, Melania Trump has renegotiated her prenup for more cash, more real estate, but her primary objective was to protect Barron Trump and make sure that he is elevated above the other kids and what they get.
He's
Over
in politics
Jr.,
now,
over
right?
Eric, over Tiffany, or
She's
even
smart.
Ivanka.
He's in
So
politics.
Melania's playing her cards. So you would stay
Yeah.
if the price is right. Cheaper to keep her kind of a thing.
Yeah,
is what
I
you're
think
trying to say.
stay and just support your husband all the way, or leave and shut the fuck up.
Okay. And why, again, if she, quote unquote, aware of who her husband is, they've been married 20 years, they got together in early 2000, 2004,
That's the question you
2005.
Well, she doesn't speak English, so she's confused, I think.
That's
So they
not
think
true.
there's a
She
language
speaks multiple
barrier.
languages.
Yeah, yeah.
No, she
She's
speaks
hot,
multiple
he's
languages.
rich. What more of a language
So
barrier
let's
do you
Actually,
need?
Donald, he knows how to speak Slovenian, so it
Well,
actually worked out perfect.
No chance he speaks Slovenian.
It was a pleasure for Trump when she was young. Now she's old, so she's
She
expired.
still looks good.
She
Let's
looks
see a
good
picture
for
of her
70
these
years
days.
old. Yeah, but Trump,
she's in her
if
50s.
if you're
54.
if he's a billionaire, so when you're gonna marry him for the money, you expire when you're 45, bitch. You are not special. If I was Trump, I'm gonna marry somebody who's I'm gonna fuck
we-
So
somebody
you're
who's
saying that
45.
Trump
we
should
fly
trade her
you to
in
Las
for a
Vegas?
younger Melania?
I'm serious. Woman, if you're marrying for money, you better keep up. And when he's cheating on you when you are 50, you should just be okay with it. If you're marrying him for money. If he's a billionaire, he should be fucking somebody who's 25.
Can Rollo and I just fly you?
We
Can
bring you to
Rollo and I
Vegas.
fly you to Vegas?
Access
Can we
Vegas.
I'm just
can
being
you please
honest.
come on our show?
Woman
Please.
and woman are the same way. If I'm a billionaire, I'll fuck anybody. And if he's a billionaire, he married you because you are hot. Now
Okay.
you're not. So chill the fuck out.
is
All right,
Show
so-
up for your husband, bitch.
Okay.
This is incredible.
You gotta pay for it.
Victoria,
We gotta put her on with
Victoria,
Please.
you're a conservative, you work at the Trump campaign. Do you agree with her that after 50 years old, the billionaire, the president of the United States, should be able to do whatever the hell he wants, and you should just shut your mouth according to her? Do you agree or disagree?
Well, if we're here to talk about the red pill and what everything that's being taught says, then no, because their ride or dies and their relationship should be kept private. And the attacks that are going on against him, the political persecution is just going on to drag him through the mud. So I respect her for staying out of it. That's her choice. And she's choosing to be a mother before getting involved in the scandal.
Gotcha. So you're sticking with Trump no matter what. She still looks good, guys. Come on.
Oh, agreed.
She's
Totally.
smart.
For 54?
Don't let the prettiness fool you.
Dude,
She's smart. She knows
She's
what she's
leading the
doing.
league in scoring for 54.
But her son is
what she's
autistic. He
doing.
won't know.
That what now?
Yeah. Which,
But I saw the Baron is autistic.
Well, I don't know. We're going to use allegedly when we talk about these things. Rayan.
Hi.
Let's have Rayan weigh in. You were one of the ladies who said, all right, despite all whatever was going on, the cheating, the allegations, whatever, you know, you're fat, you're ugly, you're fired, whatever it is,
Yeah.
you're standing by your man. Is that because of the money? Is that because of the wealth? Or that's because you're a good wife? Which one is it?
I think it's, all honesty, it's because of the money, the wealth, and like what she said, if you've been sticking around for this long, actually show up to the events, be there, like be the wife that you are in the tabloids, whatever. So just be there. Like, he's a lot of money. He's going to run again. He's going to be, like, even richer.
I just need to interject. Melania's choice to not go to court does not indicate her value as a mother or a wife.
yeah. I
So
agree.
the fact that we're equating the two things
doesn't
don't even
equate.
make sense.
I think a
should
good
show
wife
up,
should
though.
help the husband bury the bodies. That's the definition.
Yeah, but sometimes if you're gonna go bury the body, you shouldn't be seen.
What do you mean,
If
Nat?
you're like,
What
if
do
you're
you
going to
mean?
bed,
He
like
needs
for
some
example,
help.
you should keep. I agree with Toria. You should keep your relationship private. Her attending this event, if he wanted her there, I'm sure she would attend. But at the end of the day, this is an event that she's going to be questioned about her relationship, where she's going to have to talk about her husband in a way that maybe she doesn't want to talk about. Like
doesn't
we
speak
say,
English.
my mom says, you never talk about your family and you never talk about your husband to people, and it's because this specific reason you allow people to weigh in. So her removing herself from situation is actually probably protecting her family and her kids and her identity. The last thing you want is her to show up, people are attacking her with questions, and then she has to respond, or no response is a response.
Or
and
even
then
if
now
she-
stories are being built around
that's the
that.
job
Even if
of-
she
so-
answers perfectly, they'll probably take her out of context too,
But
right?
by the way,
And they'll
let me
chop
get your guys' opinion on this. If Trump told her, babe, I want you in court Monday morning, 9 a.m., don't you think she would show right up when he asked her to do that? Yes.
Yes.
I feel like she
Okay.
would.
Absolutely.
She's a very,
Okay, so we're on the same page here.
she has a plan. That lady did not marry Trump with no plan. She knows what she's doing. She knows like the plays that she's playing, from her kids to the money, the prenup. There's a reason behind her
playing the
moves.
long game.
So
Okay.
she's playing the long game. So don't let the prettiness fool you.
Don't let the
I think she won
Jasmine.
the long game.
Jasmine.
Yeah, I think
The
she's still
game
playing
is not
it, yeah.
over. The game is not over because elections are coming.
Oh shit, Nat. Dun, dun, dun,
Still
dun.
married to a billionaire.
It doesn't matter.
Let me get
Who was
Jasmine.
to leave him?
bro.
Who would she go?
She's
Who
already hit a-
would she replace?
Look at
Trump with?
motherfucking Giselle Bundchen. She left Tom Brady. Now she's hanging out with
nobody.
a
She's
jiu-jitsu
54.
instructor.
Yeah.
She's
But
hit
who
like
would
four
Kung
Bruce
Fu.
Melania leave
Yeah,
him
good
for?
luck with that.
Like a young model.
Nobody.
I've never wanted
20-year-old.
to see the chat
Who?
more than I do. Right?
Melania.
But Trump, at some point, like you're saying that Trump should leave Melania for
No,
a
no,
younger
Melania,
model?
if Melania is divorced, she just marry somebody who's young, fuck somebody who's young, whatever.
You don't go from the billionaire president of the United States to like Hector because he has abs.
Pull
What are
that
you
theory.
talking about?
Oh yeah.
It's called Alpha Widowed, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's why do very wealthy, very taken care of, very long-term security women end up fucking the pool boy? Because
Why is
they
it?
they have all
Control.
of the long-term security needs already met. There's only one other thing they don't have.
Yep.
And that's I need to fuck
Some D.
I need the
don't
guy,
have
the
a
hot
control.
guy on the
Maya
pole
has
and
to
the
say,
phone
'cause
can.
Maya
Yeah, but
legally.
it does that depend if they have a good prenup or not?
Yeah. She doesn't have a
Because
good
if you're screwing the pool boy and you don't have a good prenup, you're just an idiot.
You can ask Steve
You got a
Harvey.
good
You can ask
prenup.
Some
Steve
people are
Harvey
idiots.
about
Some
that.
people are
Right.
idiots.
That might be the quote of the day by Michael Sartain. Some people, they're just idiots.
Some people.
Let me get some of the girls' perspective.
hear Maya.
Jasmine,
Yeah.
you said you're going to stand by your man no matter what he did. What could your man do? Your billionaire president, United States, you're Melania. What could he do to be like, yeah, I'm out?
Nothing. Because if I'm in it for a business deal, if the relationship is just transactional at that point, and I know exactly who I'm married to, then I'm just going to stick it out because I know exactly what I want, which is the benefit of his money, the benefit of his name, and the benefit of everything that's going to come with it. So
Yeah,
nothing would make
That
me
sounds like a
leave.
lesson in hypergamy right there.
I think
Rollo.
we're missing a point here because we keep talking about.
I'll wait till
we
he
keep,
dies.
We keep.
Cash out.
I think we're all except for Rollo, we're all under 50. I think we're thinking about this from the standpoint of like it's either sex or money. But I think when you get to be their age and status, there's
Yeah.
also a family
Yes.
and a brand. And a lot of times, this is something like my grandparents were together for like 75 years. When they were together, they understood to manage. They didn't call it a brand at the time, but like the family, the crest, like actually protecting
The
the
last
wholesomeness,
name. Legacy. The
the
last
legacy of the family. And so we forget about that part. If you have a relationship with a man and you've been together for 70 years and you guys don't have sex all the time, that's fine. It's not the same kind of genuine desire, but the two of you work together to make sure your grandchildren get into the best college.
have a
You're
shared
still,
history.
You're still working on the legacy, and that's a thing that we forget. So maybe they're not fucking every day, but it doesn't mean that they're not working on a legacy together. And in her case, her legacy, Barron is more important than his previous children, apparently, according to this prenup. So that's more what they're worried about. So it can't be, because I hear you guys just saying, I just got with him for his money. I'm sure there was a monicum of love in there somewhere. I don't think Melania.
She was a successful runway model
That's
before
exactly-
and print model before him.
Yeah, nobody cares
And
that she's a successful model. She
When
was
they
a hot
met,
chick.
he was with
period.
another date and
Yeah.
found interest in her. So it wasn't just like a
Well,
Oh no
transactional relationship.
No one's
between
doubting
them.
that. I'm not saying
Baller.
Some young people forget because they just see Donald Trump, the orange president, whether you like him or not, in his 70s. Donald Trump in the 80s, when he was in his 30s, 40s, 50s?
He was crushing
Dude,
it.
international playboy extraordinaire, you fired. It's just, people forget that. So when she met him, she met him in 2000, I want to say? They've been married almost 20 years, but they've been together 25 years?
Yes.
So he was 70, he
50.
was 50. It's freaking Sartain's age out here, almost.
Getting close.
Billionaire, looking good.
Do you think Donald Trump has a 50 body count like Myron said?
What?
I bet
Can
you in
he carry on?
1989 he had 50 in a month.
You know, Donald Trump might have a 50 body count while he's been married to Melania.
Yeah. Real talk.
She
Okay.
knew what she was getting into,
yeah.
though.
She
In the
became
beginning.
what is it?
She knew what she was getting into in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's not like a
had
big
to.
surprise. Like, she knew. It's
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Donald. Like, he's always
So,
been that.
and my initial question was Donald Trump red pill. This is his third marriage. So he's now renegotiating this prenup. I don't know what his prenup was. His first marriage with Ivana. I'm sure that it wasn't as tight as this third one. By the time Marlon Maples showed up and he had Trump Tower, okay, you know, there was a prenup. This prenup with Melania, that had to be signed, sealed, delivered, and now she's renegotiating, basically saying, look, and when I married you, you weren't the president. I didn't have all these knives coming at me. I didn't have this media fodder. I didn't have the hate at me. We didn't have a kid. Now, I've been the first lady. I've been loyal. I've been by your side. Stand by your man. I built this brand for you. Look at us now. Yeah, you're going to have to pay up a little bit. You know what he probably said? You got it, baby. You're hired.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Slow jams. You can either choose to answer the question or give us a little flow, because I know how you do. If you were Melania, Trump cheated, but you're standing by your man, how would you respond?
Okay, I'm going to say it in English before I say it in other stuff. In English, I would stick by my man because you caught me at a time, of course, when I was young, and I'm not saying she's not beautiful now. She's still beautiful. She just aged wine. But you caught me at a time when I was a little hotshot. Like, now I'm a full bottle of nice wine and stuff. Right. But I think she should stay by him. But at the same time, I can understand she is still a human. You know, like he says, a lot of pressure. And everybody was nagging at her, tagging at her about her past life and what she looked like, where her legs were spread at what time and stuff like that. I understand that. And then to see, I come home and I see my man cheating, or I know he's cheating, he has other children and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to think twice about my future. Obviously, you can go look at the next girl and walk away at any minute. So, of course, I'm going to get ready.
You walk in. You walk in.
And
you see Trump cheating. I'm blind.
You're blind.
Right.
Okay, gentlemen, let me get it to you guys. But thank you, ladies. Gentlemen, these girls had to put themselves in position as Melania.
It's different if it was another guy. Trump and this situation is different than dating a random guy and he's cheating on you.
Exactly. Yeah. All these ladies said that they're standing by their man. Our friend Zhao Yang was like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm a fucking boss, babe. I'm not making my money. Amazing.
I mean, I would do it no matter what, because you make vows. So for me, it's not just about a hypergamy thing. It's not about somebody's position. When you make those vows, you mean them, from my perspective. But
no matter what.
If my pussy's dried, I'm leaving.
What is it?
My pussy's dried, I'm leaving. It's a semester. I can feel, okay, should I leave or not? If it's dried, I'm leaving.
Please tell me, I'm going to talk to you for a second right here. Please tell me you've seen an Asian lady saying about, my job is to make my man's, you know the fitness? My man's dick a hard, not his life a hard.
I don't know. I don't give a fuck.
But
my pussy dry.
His job is to make my pussy wet, not my eyes wet. You never heard this?
I heard that. That's cute, but that's not me. If my pussy dry, I leave because I don't need anything from you.
But is it your job to make your man's crumb hard, not his life hard?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
I starve myself. I don't get fat. I do a lot. Yeah. If he's not hard, he's gay.
Okay. And were you ever married?
I was married, yes.
What happened to the body?
They left because they got to know me. See, I'm honest, right? You appreciate honesty, right?
What's the best quality that you bring to the table for a man?
I think I make a lot of money and I make good food. I give the best BJ in the world. Okay. And I talk.
By the way, get her contact information afterwards. Thank you. Go ahead.
I talk. That's my problem.
Yes.
I can't keep my mouth shut. And
how much would it take?
I tell them they are weak.
Has a guy ever come to you and said, I love you?
Myron Fresh.
I love you.
This one.
Yes. I love you. You're hot, but shut your mouth. And you're like, no, I'm not going to shut my mouth.
It depends on how good the dick is.
Okay.
I'll shut it for a while if the dick's good.
How much would it cost for a guy to pay you to shut your mouth?
Well, it depends on how. I mean, the money is not gonna shut me up. But if I'm turned on, my pussy's wet, I'll be closed my mouth. Yeah.
Okay.
This mouth is open. This mouth is closed. Okay.
Unbelievable. And by the way, since you make so much money, I assume you're not paying for your dude. No matter how good the D is.
I would pay for a good dick. Yeah.
You're not paying shit, Zhao Yang.
I'll buy a Rolex if you fuck me well. I will. Because you deserve it.
Let's get her contact information.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, put yourself in Donald Trump's shoes. Amazing, right? Michael Sartain, your jaw is on the floor, bro.
He's enjoying
Your jaw's on the floor.
Like, the honesty is just so...
Your jaw's on the floor. Relax, bro. You get her contact information later.
I'm toxic. I know it. See?
No,
you're exactly what he's looking for right now.
Exactly what we need.
Exactly. But Michael, you're You're open to dating these days? What's going on?
No, I'm keeping my personal life personal from this point forward. I say shit and people make fucking videos and Reddit posts. So no,
Aren't you
I'm not,
5'6"?
I'm 5'6". I was never in the military.
That's right.
I'm not saying shit. I am a blank slate.
I heard that you and Jia Yang had a kid now, half Mexican,
You heard
half
that?
Asian.
Yeah,
It's going to be a
I
beautiful
saw that.
thing.
That's somewhere.
It's going to be a beautiful thing.
There's a Substack about
Gentlemen.
That'll be all kid will be America's most hated.
That's right. Gang, gang. Gentlemen, if you were Trump and you married Melania and she's upset, she doesn't want to show up to court, she's quote unquote angry, she knows who you are, what would you be telling Melania at this point? Kian?
Well, once again, I think she knows what she signed up for. And I would say, you've always known who I am. And that's it. Show up.
You know what's up, babe.
Simple. Sartain, when you're done getting your jaw off the floor with our friend Jia Yang here, you're Donald Trump. What are you telling Melania, Michael?
Do you remember?
No. You're Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, what am I telling? Oh, I thought I'm
Yes.
I'm
Say to her.
Melania's friend.
No,
Not
you're
Donald
Donald Trump. What are you saying to Melania?
Yeah.
That's Melania over there.
Yeah. So I'm
talk to Melania.
Melania. I was something to the effect of.
You're tremendous.
You're tremendous. You're incredible. I just fucked up one time. You know what I'm saying?
Two times.
I'm just curious. Like, I don't know. Personally, what I would do is be like, this is the truth, and this is how my life's going to be going forward, which seemed to be the arrangement that John F. Kennedy and Jackie Onassis had, where she was fully aware of the fact that he would sleep with other women, but she would tell him, Jacqueline Onassis asked John F. Kennedy to stop sleeping with Marilyn Monroe because she had a problem with drugs. So there were rules in the relationship. It doesn't seem like that's the case here. It seems like he's just kind of running amok. And in that case, I would probably lay down some ground rules and be like, you can accept this or not, and I totally understand either way. I give you the freedom to do
and
whatever
by
you
the way, the only married person on the panel, Rollo Trump.
Rollo Trump, yes.
Right here, Toria, that's your wife, Melania. She just found out about everything. What are you telling Toria Trump?
You mean as far as like...
Yeah, like she's like, I'm pissed. What's up? I want a new prenup. What's going on? What are you telling her?
Are you on brand or are you not on brand? Because that's basically what this is. This is a political campaign. Are you on brand or are you not? So personal lives and everything else anything that comes into play here, there's no room for emotions. There's no crying in politics. Okay, so either you're on brand or you're not. Are you with me or are you not with me? Are you ride or die or are you not? That's, you know what you signed up for, and this is basically.
Would you let her renegotiate her
prenup?
Yeah, with you if you were Trump.
he got some. Hold on, well,
money.
I wouldn't.
He got something out of it. He got something out. No contract is enforceable unless it's both sides get something out of it. So if the contract renegotiation was just nothing, but Barron gets more money and she gets more land, he got something out of it, but it's sealed. So we don't know what that is.
We don't even know the full extent of what it is either. I mean, all we know is what the media is talking about too. Right? We don't.
Donald Trump could live forever. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, Donald Trump could go to 150. You heard it here first. Next story. Thank you, guys. Spirited Debate. By the way, we're halfway through. Buckle up. Okay, here we go. This is also for the ladies, but I feel like some of the answers are going to enable the men to give some better responses. Like as far as, all right, here's what I think. Here's the question. There's a lot of stories out there, and the question I have is, do ladies hate men these days? Right? Ladies, you have your green and red thumbs up. Overall, not you, because you love ladies, and I know you, Jin Yang, you love men a little too much. Overall, women in general, do they have a positive or negative opinion of men? Positive is green, negative is red. Pulled it up.
Do they have a positive, negative opinion of men?
I'm not going to repeat it.
Wow.
Like generally speaking.
Okay, so 80% of the panel is saying that women have a negative opinion of men. Did you see this answer coming?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Really? Yeah. You bitches.
We do these videos every show.
In general, yes. I mean,
okay, now men, you guys have your things?
Yeah.
Do men have a negative opinion of women?
This is in general, correct?
Yes, in general.
In general, I don't think they do. In general, I think they're
so
incredibly
you're saying
desperate.
green is they're good, red, okay.
In general, men are desperate. And
so
they're
men
looking to get it.
still like the women?
Yes.
And women
hate the men.
not so much hate the men.
And I can prove it.
Why do women hate the men? What's going on, Rand?
I don't know. I think women think about the like small little picture of like, oh, like he broke my heart, so then all men suck, and then they like word of mouth because women gossip, then everyone's like, all the women are like, oh, men suck. But men, I don't think men suck. I think all men love women. You know, no, I don't think any man's a woman hater.
I don't even think women hate men. If you
What
want
is
to
it?
be
That's like the
honest.
general
I don't think women
opinion.
hate men. But that's different. To
Okay,
be
so what word
disappointed
would you
and
use
hate,
instead of hate?
I would
Find
say
one word.
Tolerant.
Strongly dislike.
Strongly dislike.
I think
Strongly
disappointed. I
disagree.
think disappointed is a good
Slow
word.
Jams, what word would you say how
I would
women
say we're
Underwhelmed.
tolerant of men. Tolerant.
tolerant of men?
Yeah,
You are
that's
tolerant
the
of
one.
things that
Victoria?
you're disappointed by.
Yeah.
I think people like Andrew Tate give the quote unquote red pill a false
But I'm not talking about
narrative.
red pill, I'm talking
no,
about just men in
I'm
general.
getting to it, and I'm going to complete
Yeah.
my answer. I think that men like that women don't like, and even conservative women don't. And there needs to be a revision or a reiteration of how the red pill is pushed in society so that women can get a better perspective of men.
So is
and have
Andrew
a better
Tate the poster
conversation.
child of the type of guy that women hate?
I think he's a commercial version, and like they discussed
Yeah,
before, he's
I know.
profiting off of it, and he's making men who actually have good points, they're not being heard.
Okay, how about this? I got it. Give me, if Andrew Tate is the poster child of the man that every woman hates, give me the poster child of the man that every woman loves.
There's this guy on TikTok. He's called the Daddy Academy. His name's Nico, and he's phenomenal.
Let's
and
pull him up.
he's-
Daddy Academy.
The,
See?
the Daddy Academy. His name's Nico, Niko,
Okay.
and he teaches women and men kind of about dating and communication. Oh, this guy is the best.
Daddy Academy.
I feel like an
Yes,
NGO is redirecting my traffic to this
he
guy.
is so great.
Yeah? Play one of his videos. Just pick
see.
Well,
one.
let's, hold on. Let's see which options we have. If he wanted to, he would.
Yeah,
Play
the
that.
third.
If he wanted to, play if he wanted to, he would.
Okay.
If he wanted to, he would.
Audio on the
Ladies,
bottom.
welcome to the Daddy Academy. I'm about to give you the ugly truth about if he wanted to, he would. Every single thing a man does in dating
All right, we don't have
is
audio.
100%
if you can-
intentional. I'm saying it again, 100% intentional. If
What
you
does?
haven't heard from him in 3-4
Well, we can't
days, 100% intentional. If he hasn't taken you out on a date in 2-3 weeks,
Louder.
100% intentional. Okay, everything is intentional. Every man knows what he
This
wants.
is
Men
so
are very
important. If you
purpose, accomplishment driven. So if there's a
All
woman
right, I can't hear anything,
that he's
so
really
stop
interested
it.
in,
What word would you, what person or who is the poster child of a man that women love? Go ahead.
Man, that women love.
She got the Daddy Academy.
Man,
Henry Cavill.
I would hope it would have to at least be, and I'm going to take it a little bit personal, but I would hope it would at least be the father that they're at least looking up to, because I think this whole issue with genders being against each other is the fact that there has been the destruction of the family home and the family unit. There's disrespect on what a man is bringing to the table and what a woman is bringing to a table. And I feel like, you know, growing up in a very traditional home where I saw my grandmother serve my grandfather, I saw my mom serve my father. None of this was done out of misogynistic values. It was just done because it works. So I would hope that if a woman is looking up to any man in their life, it would be their father if they have, you know, that type of good relationship. Just establishing some type of respect, or if it's not your father, somebody that you can look up to, that you can learn to respect men. I also think another issue is that we're not looking at people as individuals. We keep lumping genders together, ideas together, perspectives together. We're not giving people the chance to think for themselves or to create a life based off of what they are thinking for themselves.
Incredible. Are you married? Do you have kids?
No, I do not. I just have a really great mother and a
Okay.
really great father.
How old are you?
I'm 26 years old.
Okay.
But I am in a
Are you
relationship. Yes, I am.
How long you guys been together?
Just 6 months, but it's
Okay.
very healthy. We have traditional roles.
Have you always been like this, or did you learn the hard way?
You know, it's funny, when I was younger, I was a little bit more towards the feminist side. My mother said, as you grow up, you're going to start to change because you're going to start to see that there are certain things that just work, like a mother being at home taking care of her kids. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's, you know, you're giving back to society that way. You're really allowing for your kids to grow up in a very loving environment. There's nothing wrong with the man going outside of the house. And maybe that doesn't look like your family. Very healthy. We have traditional roles. I think the problem is that we are really trying to weaponize traditional values, family unit. It's just becoming weaponized. It's becoming crazy.
Awesome. One more question. You know, in politics, they say that if you're young and you're not a liberal, you have no heart. But as you get older, if you're not a conservative, you have no brain. It sounds like you've had this epiphany, as Rollo kind of calls his epiphany phase. Usually it happens before 30, right around 30.
29, 30.
29, 30. You're having it by 26. What did you have to learn? Like, how did your brain go from like, I'm a feminist to like, no, I'm a traditional role? Like, what do women need to understand, and what was the evolution you had to go through?
Well, I think for me personally, there are two ways to look at life, right? You're either going to have a black and white perspective, or you're going to see some things in the gray area. And so for me, even when I was a little bit more leaning towards the feminist side, I wasn't leaning all that way. And I guess I wasn't, I didn't hate the opposite gender. I didn't hate the family unit. So I guess for me, it just became natural. I would just say, for anyone, not even just women, that there is such an important journey of self-discovery and understanding what is going to work for you. And that's what I would say.
Awesome. Alejandro, pull up these other stories, and I want to get the girls' way on this one. We talked about, do women hate men? You know, I pride myself on actually calling out women when they're delusional and ridiculous, but also calling out men when they're absurd and need to be called out. It's kind of, it's not like a masculine chauvinist or anything like that. It's just, you're ridiculous, you need to be called out, or, hey, great answer, I respect you. Like, there's a difference between all this. But when you see some of these stories, like this man versus bear story, you've heard about this? The women choose to be alone in the woods with a bear instead of a man. Okay, we've done that. We've had this conversation. What's happening right there? So the man versus bear debate, that's pretty ridiculous. But now, here's another story. If women are faced with the choice of being with a man or a woman, women are picking the women now. Here's this story. Women expose scary reality of dating men and have turned to dating women. Women expose scary, okay? So now,
Is this me?
so
That's just a cover
I'm
story
the
for
only
people
one?
who
what's
are-
going on here? So here's what I can assure you. And this is so weird to me, and I wanted to get the men to talk about this as well. The women, you're picking the bears, you're picking the other women. What? Whereas, you know, we asked, 80% of you said that you had a negative, that women overall have a negative connotation of men, negative sentiment. All of us on the panel, do men have a negative connotation of women? We're all like, no, we're cool. We definitely, you all
The more the
held them
better.
up.
Level.
What the hell's going on here? Zhao Yang, why do women hate the men? And what could the women be doing better? What could the men be doing better?
Well-
other than keeping the wet.
Well, personally, I like dick too much to choose bear or woman. I have a pussy already here. I don't want to eat on the pussy. I can eat it right here. I do yoga. I don't think it's something I want to do. I think you should just be honest. Like every time my relationship fails, I know there's something wrong I did. I just know. I don't feel like a victim. I'll be like, yeah, I'm too strong. I'm an alpha female. So I need to find a guy who's okay with the alpha female rather than training a man into something else, because that's how I feel. And I'm not going to choose pussy because men leave me.
So I have a very specific question for you. What's your ideal guy? Because there's a 0% chance that I could be with an alpha female. I'd be like, shut your mouth already. Get in the bed.
I respect that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what a lot of girls like you need. But the type of guy that you get, is it like these little beta boys that are like,
No.
yes, I'll shut my mouth. Like,
I can't do that. I want a guy who is strong and hardworking and have a skill that he's good at. I have to admire you in order to fuck you. I mean, if you're just a loser, I can't fuck you. I
Yeah.
just don't. I can't do that. And then I just want a guy to wear an earplug sometimes.
Earplugs.
Yeah, because
For
I
your
know
voice.
to
Heated
save yourself.
relationships is
So you're
earplugs.
very
Just
in
put the
tune with
earplug
who you
brand
are.
that.
Yeah.
So, okay,
deal with feminism.
gentlemen,
Earplugs.
Sartain, get
Yeah.
the jaw off the floor, bro. You get a number later.
Hilarious.
Why do you think, what's the term? Like, they were like hate, they don't respect, they're basically, what was the word you used? You said,
Tolerance.
Yeah.
Tolerant
I'll
of them.
chime in
So
on that.
it-
what's the cognitive dissonance
Let's
here?
just what do the surveys and the science tell us?
Yeah.
So 80% of men are deemed below average attractiveness on dating apps. Only 20% of men are deemed to be attractive. When we look at look at different properties like this on dating apps, men right swipe 55% of the time, women right swipe 5% of the time. And so the average woman is not interested in the average man. The average man finds the average woman more attractive than the other way around. And so because of that, what we find is that these women are finding these men to be disappointing. There's something we always forget. A very beautiful woman who has a lot of men searching after her and a very average looking woman, they see the same images on social media. They are receiving the same stimulus. And so the possibilities that they think they can get are the same. And when you have women left swiping 6,000 times for every one date on dating apps, they start to believe I can get these men to commit to me. I could get these men, I'm better than these men. And they start to get this diluted sense of self. Additionally, in a short-term dating context, women tend to rate men to the left. They say a man who's an 8, they call him a 5. A man who's a 7, they call him a 4 or a 3. And there's only like 3 guys who are 10s.
What would you rate Kian?
Kian's a 10. Kian's definitely a 10. He's definitely.
Really?
He's not gonna have any trouble at all.
Joe Yang, is he the kind of guy you're looking for? Tall, handsome athlete?
Of course, everybody wants to fuck him. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But he can't make it to a second date though. He can't make it to a
Why
second
not?
date with me. He's gonna be very mad at me. I'll be like,
He doesn't
the
have your
pants are
pledge.
gay. Don't wear them.
Oh, you're calling out his pants too tight.
It's way too tight. He enjoy getting grabbed in the gay club, I think.
What?
He enjoy getting grabbed by gays in the gay club. I think.
No one enjoys
Is that what you like?
Okay.
He's attracting that.
Ken, do you want to respond to that?
Applicable.
But whip it
No,
out, man.
he's already vomiting. No.
Okay, Rollo. Oh, he just
That's
gave
cute.
you the.
That's cute. Me love you long time. He is so adorable. He's cute. I can breastfeed him.
Listen, we're making magic out here,
What did
guys.
she say? She said she could breastfeed.
Well, she's so funny.
Go ahead.
Wild.
Okay.
I would
I
say
don't give
more
a fuck.
so.
She is hilarious.
I would say more so. I read this book, Why Men Love Bitches.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true or not.
I'm reading that right
but
now.
It works. Are you reading that now? Yeah, it's a good book.
There they go.
Well, let me see.
Art of
if I can,
Seduction, all that. I read all that. But more so, a lot of women, and maybe I'm speaking too brass. I like how you speak. A lot of women see men as children, like 5-year-olds. You can't. If a child comes to you with a poorly drawn image of you, you're gonna say it's good. My man comes to me with something, I'm gonna say it's good, because if I say something bad, he's gonna swear I don't like him. He's gonna talk to the next girl about it or something. I think that when I say tolerant, it's just that I have to. Of course, me being feminine, I have to hold down how I really feel. I want you to say how you really feel because you're the man, but I have to hold down how I really feel. Or if you're cheating on me or you're hurting me, I can't just go slashing your car and stuff like that and doing all types of things I want to do.
Let me see if I can make this applicable. On our show, we've done this like at least on 2 occasions where we've done these. There's these man on the street kind of interviews. Where the guy just walks around basically with a microphone. He asks all these women, like I don't know, maybe it's in Fremont or somewhere else, around. Do women need men? And every last one of these women says, "Fuck no, we don't need no fucking men." Like they're very emphatic about it, right? Fuck men. We don't need men. We can take care of ourselves. Blah blah blah. And they go to and every single one of these girls that they just randomly go up to on the outside the clubs and stuff like that. They go up to the guys and say, "Do men need women?" And they're like, "What do you mean? Yeah, of course we need." It's like a no-brainer to them. They don't even know why you're even asking the question, right? But it was meant to emphasize the difference between the attitude of like women versus men versus women, right? And so, what I've seen from like over the years now is that there's a common refrain amongst women: we don't need men, but we want men. Okay. And so the don't need part is coming from the fact that women have already established that I'm an alpha female, right? Which there's really no such thing as an alpha female. But what you're saying is, I've become the man that I wanted to marry, okay? And so therefore, I've got my own damn money. I've got my own education. I've got my own, I'm well established. I'm much more mature now. Where's my man, right? Well, you've already established and got all of the things that you needed for your long-term security. And so what's left? I don't need a man because I have or at least I have the perception that I have all of this long-term security already provided for. What's left? A guy with good dick. I need a guy. I need Dick Dash. I need a guy to come over to my house, fuck me, and leave.
Don't clip that.
Right, exactly.
Don't clip that.
That's what.
I do.
Yeah. So that's
now you want to find
always
out.
do, but I know it's hard.
Who do women want? They want Justin Waller. they want Jason Momoa. They want Jack Reacher. Because that's the guy that's going to lay down the good dick, and because they don't need him for anything else.
But at the end of the day, most women, I don't know if it's because the guys are just like they said, boys to be boys. Back to my child analogy, if you go out and you practice sleeping with different women all the time, you do pose more of a joke and a threat as being my man because at any moment,
but most men can't do that.
Yeah, most guys.
The average guy in the United States has a 5 body count.
Well, and
when he dies, he has a 5 body count.
The whole perspective of women hating men is because you guys have this bad boy, I'm going to do what I want image. I don't care if I'm married or not.
15% of men have that. Yeah. The other 85% of men you don't fucking notice.
Majority of men haven't had sex in a year with their
virgin. They haven't had sex in a year.
I get that, but don't.
Guys, hold on. Breaking news. Breaking news. Our friend here, Zhao Yang. She's actually, her dude just showed up, and he's picking her up from the show. She's got to go.
With that good dick.
So, with that good, exactly. So, triple threat, you killed it, you crushed it. What's the fun? Who would you like to take with you? Are you switching teams? Are you staying with the men? You're picking the bear?
Guys?
I'm just saying, what you got going on?
There are 3 of them are very attractive and well-spoken, and they're cute.
Okay.
Yeah. They are good men.
All right. Where can we find you?
On Access Vegas.
Media, Summers Comedy is my comedy tour, my national tour, and the Jiaoying Summers everywhere. JIAOYING SUMMERS everywhere. TikTok.
Where are you performing tonight?
Tonight at Boca, Black Box. Tomorrow at Off the Hook at Naples, Florida.
Okay, great.
Nice.
Well, you were incredible.
Thank
You're
you
amazing.
for having me.
Anytime you
You're
want.
welcome.
Let me tell you something. Me love you long time.
Thank you. Appreciate
100%.
that.
Clap it up for our friend out here. We're moving on to the next
segment.
segment.
Fucking fabulous. Thank you guys.
Adam.
But
Mind
just
if I
shake
chime
a little
in?
something.
I didn't speak on that one. Is that cool?
Go ahead.
So I think
we're moving on in 2 minutes.
You got it. Perfect. So when we look at it fundamentally, we live in a very utopic society where women are so beyond safe. So this is just simply a byproduct of the amount of safety that we've created as a society for ourselves. This wouldn't even be a conversation if we didn't have as much safety as we have. So this is just a normal byproduct of the amount of safety that women have been able to find in society. Government can take care of them. They don't have to really worry about their safety. There's not really immediate physical threats in their life. So they naturally don't need men. So men have to understand, okay, well, how do I become needed? And I think this is the next level with men.
Great point. But is that true? Because there's a difference between emotional and perception and reality.
Correct.
I
It's
think
built
you're
on a
gonna
house
weigh
of
in on
cards.
something here.
In
And
reality,
I'm going to show you a stat.
In
Go ahead.
reality, Adam, you need men. You need men to keep these lights on. You need men to pave that road.
That's right. That's
What's
why
that
I
board?
appreciate my team out here.
What's happened?
I need all y'all.
What's happened
Just
is
not in my house.
because of technological advancements,
Correct.
industry, construction, and violence. Men have carved out a bubble for humans to live in, and that bubble has got. You guys forget Washington D.C. and Manhattan were swamps fucking 500 years ago. Like
Washington D.C. is still a swamp.
But these, what I'm saying is, these places they've carved out these bubbles of normalcy in society and civilization, so that we can have women tell us that they don't need us when we created the society that they live in.
Correct.
And by the way, they're within their rights to do so. Ultimately, there's a proximate cause and an ultimate cause. Proximately, do they need a man? No, they can make $300,000 a year and buy a shotgun. Ultimately, do they need men? All of us need men. When your building is burning, when someone has kidnapped your child, you need men to show up. Trust me, ladies. If your child was kidnapped and the SWAT team shows up and it's a WNBA team, you're not going to be as happy. You're going to want a bunch of fucking angry, violent men to take care of that for you. Yeah, and that's the society we've created.
Well said.
The moment the utopia crumbles, then we all revert right back.
Well, look what's going on in Ukraine. All the men are sent off to war, and all the women are on OnlyFans or hanging out in South Beach at this point or somewhere in Europe. So men are completely expendable, right? When the utopia crumbles and the men got to go to war, or whether it's just building the sidewalks or they're up on the crane, we don't really appreciate it because you're on your phone, you got your laptop, you're getting your mocha froca lattes at Starbucks, but we forgot who built the frickin' Starbucks. Who built the cups? Who built the factory? No, we forget about that because life is too easy. I'll say one last thing. We talked about women. They're picking the bear. They're picking other women. Here's another stat out there. High schoolers, it's really weird. High schoolers increasingly identify as LGBT, vastly driven by girls. I think we have a stat. High school boys in 2015, 2.4% identified as LGBT. Now, 2021, that's the latest time they did the stat, 2.8%, a 0.4 uptick. Women, ladies, 2015, 10% of girls kissing cousins in the bathroom. 2021, 25%. Thanks for that stat. Gentlemen, no matter what, no matter how bitchy these girls get, no matter how entitled, no matter how hardcore feminist, are you switching teams, boys?
No, I mean, Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
No,
this is,
you don't need a big
We're not.
answer.
You don't need
Just
an
say
answer.
no.
Women are sexualized today.
Okay.
So
Well,
women
but
are put on this pedestal to look very sexy and hot, and it's attractive. So I'm not surprised other women find that attractive. I don't see men putting other men on pedestals that are very
Well, if you ever
even-
listened to the movie Boomerang with Eddie Murphy, what the father say? Hey, you messed up. You know what you did? You put the pussy on a pedestal. And then what happens when you put the pussy on the pedestal? Now she don't think she's worthy of you, and the pussy leaves.
Well, it's
you
because
put the pussy on the pedestal.
It's simply because we've made men superfluous right now. We've
is.
simply made them like they're either. This is more to your point about well, they seem like they're children, right? Well, those are the guys who are like the Homer Simpsons, right? Those are that's the archetype of men that you get when you see Homer Simpson or Everybody Loves Raymond or that archetype of doofy, goofy dad who needs to be saved from himself, and mom's the only one that can do that, right? Then you've got the guy who's the borderline abuser who she keeps coming back to all the time and is in an unhealthy, maybe he's a narcissist, and is in an unhealthy relationship with, and the guy's just borderline ready to hit her. Then there's the guy who's like the latter half of the millennials and pretty much all of the Zoomers who's the incompetent kid who doesn't know how to drive a stick, doesn't know how to tie a tie, doesn't know how to do basic life things, right?
Like a
and so
child.
if that's your choices, women are saying, fuck that. And that's why you want to know why they're choosing to be like LGBT or whatever the hell it is that they're identifying as. It doesn't necessarily mean they're actually going through with that, but they're like, I would much rather get with other women. If this is the selection of guys that I have to deal with, Homer Simpson, borderline abuser, or incompetent fuck, I don't want to be with that guy. And so therefore, what's my alternatives? This is my alternative.
Go big or go Homer.
I agree with what you're saying, and I think culture has kind of tried to make men more feminine. They're going for the type B's in these shows, like what is it called?
If men show up in the show at all,
listen,
we're right for the straight guy.
Modern Family.
Californication got
Phil
canceled.
Dumpy was like such a type B. Like he
So
was
I'm going to ask you a very specific question. Ready, Toria? This is all you. Because I asked this question to a couple of the girls the other show, and it blew my mind. And you're not going to like either selection, but you have to pick one. Are you ready to play the game? Would you rather date Andrew Tate, the person you said you hate and he's like the worst guy ever, or
a grizzly bear?
Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh my God.
That's an unfair question.
No, it's because there's a real men who are alive today.
Most men now are undateable because of questions like what you just asked.
Listen,
so
ask me the most ridiculous question. I won't skirt around it, but just pick one. Hypothetical.
I'd rather date this guy for at least being able to psychologically,
So you're saying that you can't even choose between an
succeed all
Andrew
this.
Tate and a girl, boy, man, child like Dylan Mulvaney?
Neither of them are on my intellectual.
But who would you
level.
rather kill if you had the choice?
I mean,
Here's a
This
better
isn't a
question.
hard question.
Oh, no. You're about to
isn't a
get
hard
this channel
question.
If you
taken
could only
down. You're about to get this channel
reproduce,
removed. Don't answer that question. Don't answer that question.
If you had a chance, where it's you and one other man in the world, and you had to reproduce, who would you pick? Between Dylan Mulvaney and Andrew Tate.
the one
And you had
person
to
I would pick
yes.
is not famous. So
Okay, but out of the two, you have to reproduce.
then I guess I'm not.
The
Which
fate
is
of
fine.
the
This
planet
is the
depends
problem
on
that
you,
we're running
Toria.
into.
My last name
hell?
isn't going
Toria,
on
I
anyway,
respect
so
you because you
Welcome,
come on here and
kids.
opinionated. What you should say is, as much as I hate Andrew Tate, I'll work with him to make him understand and appreciate and love women, and he's moldable.
He doesn't
But there's no
deserve-
chance I'm picking
I can
girl,
break
boy,
him.
man, child, Dylan Mulvaney.
He doesn't.
How are
deserve-
you not saying this?
Tate doesn't deserve my DNA, but I'm sure somebody will.
I'll let the people in the
differentiate.
chat respond, but Toria, respect to you. Moving on.
Thanks.
Let's talk about having kids,
Kids.
right?
Babies. We love
Babies,
our
you
kids.
guys are lighting up over here. Anybody on the panel have kids that they're claiming?
Aw.
All right.
Huh?
I got 3 cats.
Red or
I got 3
green?
cats.
Ladies, how many of you want kids? Red or green?
Green. Here.
No, babe, it's free.
Guys, why is it so complicated to raise your thing?
Green.
It's under your right leg.
Okay. Green, green, red, green, green. Natalia?
Green.
Green. Note to production, get a couple more of the thumbs so we don't have to
Did.
actually use our thumbs.
It's my fault.
So
It's okay.
most of you guys want kids. There's some stats out there. We're going to show this article in a second. But Rayan, why off the bat? How old are you, by the way?
I'm 23.
That's right. Your brain hasn't fully formed yet, the
Yeah,
prefrontal
25.
cortex.
Yeah, I
But
don't-
at 23, why don't you want kids ever?
Well, at 20.
Ever.
Ever?
Yeah.
Maybe like when I'm 40.
What?
And like,
Yeah, but see, that's a
40?
different, hold on, but that's
You
a
already
different-
have kids at
Bro,
40.
in her mind, that's not a different. That's not her lifetime.
That's not a thing
40
right
is
now.
not a reality to her.
It's
like,
not.
Okay.
legitimately, it's not real.
I could die tomorrow.
Again, but you when you.
But the odds are
Right.
99.9999% chance you
I'm
won't
not
die
thinking
tomorrow.
about
We've been
those
watching.
kids.
Hold on, we've been watching.
You just heard the girl next to you basically say she had an epiphany that she used to be a young 23-year-old idiot, but now she's a wise 23-year-old
I'm not
woman.
saying, you know what?
How'd you not listen to what your friend said?
Wise, like
I
6-year-old
don't think that's
woman.
what I said, but
She's what?
I said wise 6-year-old woman with the traditional.
26-year-old.
Yeah, I feel like traditional stuff is like old, like 60
So
years
paint
old
me your
stuff.
ideal life before I show you this article.
My ideal life is just being super rich and just being happy, being with someone that I love. Maybe kids, maybe not. I don't know. But like some people, they can't even be allowed to have kids.
Rollo,
you
on
know?
a scale of 1 to delusional, where does our friend rank? And what you've seen?
Delusional. I mean, when your retirement plan is to find a suitcase full of money on the side of the road.
No,
that's
I'm not
kind of
saying
hard
I'm
to
gonna like
do.
get money. Oh my god, I work for my money. I work for my shit. But like,
I believe you.
yeah. So,
You also have to point out that she's 23 years old. She's
Correct.
She's probably at the apex of her
Yeah.
like sexual market value, and so the last thing she's thinking of is children at this point in
That
time,
one.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The average age of first pregnancy is right around 28, 29 years old. The average age of first marriage in the United States for women is 30, and it's 31 or 32 for men, right? And it's gone up actually.
Like, I'm not thinking
she's
about
not even.
kids
It's
or
a
marriage.
complete. Like you were saying, it's a completely different reality from her. She's not thinking about long term
Okay,
right now.
but I get it, and I totally respect it. But there's a difference between thinking about it and at least acknowledging at some point, yeah, that'd be nice. At 40, what are the what percentage of women have kids
She's
after
just- she's
40?
just
You have a
throwing that
5%
out there,
chance
though.
of conception at 40.
You could adopt.
Don't get freezer
I'm trying to
eggs.
help you.
But here's the story, and this is what is alarming, and this I think is a very necessary conversation because we could talk about body count and this and that. This is actually reproducing the planet. Here's an article from the Wall Street Journal. Suddenly, there aren't enough babies, and the whole world is alarmed. Quote unquote, one of the economists said, "Man, this just snuck up on us." Really?
No, it didn't.
So fertility rates have plummeted around the world, so much so that the United Nations is now paying attention. The pace of the decline has caught many off guard. Snuck up on us. The fertility rates declining faster and more extensively than previously predicted. Actual birth registries reported significant undershoots compared to the UN estimates, with countries like the United States and China experiencing substantial declines. Global fertility have reached between 2.1 and 2.2. So big bold letters, it's the first time in human history that fertility rates have fallen below replacement levels. I'm
And
going to
that
show
is-
you what
by
this
the way,
article
that
looks like.
is bullshit.
Okay.
Because the United
Show-
States
show
has
the-
been
show the
below
image.
fertility, has
Okay.
been below replacement since 1975.
Okay.
No one was talking about it then.
You have the clip?
Do we have an image right there of the picture of that I sent you?
Yes.
Just show the image.
Stats.
So Rollo, explain, please.
No, I mean it's. I've been doing sort of this series on 1971, actually the decade between 1965 and 1975, and all of the social changes and things that have happened since the advent of hormonal birth control. This is a worldwide. This is an effect of one invention. Hormonal birth control.
Okay.
Okay.
And by the way,
so
do you
if
have the
look-
one with the other countries
if you
as
look
well,
At the, if you
Alejandro?
look at the below, like
Oh, there it is, right
birth,
there.
Birth rate in the
Scroll
United
down.
States dropped below replacement level starting in 1975 and has been there since then.
Punch in on the United States. What countries are these, Alejandro? I can't see.
USA, Mexico, India,
You have
China.
USA, Mexico,
Okay.
India,
So
China.
punch in on the United States specifically because, I'm not so much worried about what's going on in India. Good for them. But Rollo, make some sense of what's going on in the United States. That's the one.
The United States has been below, like if that goes to 1980, if you went back as far as like 1970, you would see where the drop takes place. It's right after hormonal birth control. If you look at hormonal birth control and you look at all the things that happened since then, like right around 1971, if you look at from 65 to 75, the divorce rate skyrockets along with the use of hormonal birth control. If you take those two stats and you overlay them, I know correlation is not causation, but that's a hell of a correlation.
So there's a study about women who got off of it that were then all of a sudden attracted to different people.
And then look what happens in 1968. We start no fault divorce. That's when Reagan approved it in California, and then all the other states followed right after that. Then you have women entering into the workforce. What do we have to do then? Now we can get credit cards. Oh, thank you, feminists. feminism? No, it's the insurance companies, because what happened in 1971? We went off the gold standard, and so now we have fiat currency, and the insurance companies and the credit companies are like, yeah, ladies, here, you come a long way, baby, you know, and give her all that. Then you've got abortion. Abortion happens in what, 1973, 72, 72. Yep. And you got Roe v. Wade in 1972. Now we have that as a fail-safe. We've got hormonal birth control as a fail-safe. We have a skyrocketing divorce rate. We have a plummeting marriage rate to where we are right now, which is 6.1 per 1,000 people right now. We are at the lowest in recorded history in the United States right now. All started 1965. Everything you can track back. If you go and you look at it economically, if you look at productivity in the United States, when women enter the workforce because they have to, because they divorced all their husbands back when hormonal birth control happened, now they enter the workforce, productivity skyrockets, but mean wages stay the fucking same. So it's a great boon for companies and everything else that goes. Then you got a lot of follow-on stuff like Title IX and the rest of the stuff that follows.
Rollo, who was the president in 1965? Was that LBJ?
It is.
Is that the Great Society?
Yeah, it wasn't Nixon yet. Yeah, it was.
Okay, I want to get your perspective on this, and then I'm going to give you a couple of the reasons why I think birth rates have declined, at least in America. But you touched on so many important things right there. Michael, what are some of the reasons?
Daily Wire, you're welcome. You can have all of that data. I know you're going to clip that and use it in your shit.
Go for it.
There you go. Steal, rob me blind. It's
there
fine.
it is. Go ahead. Because I have a couple of notes, but what do you think?
Yeah, this is crazy. You guys ready? I know I'm going to be labeled a conspiracy theorist. Birth control caused fewer births.
Wow. What?
That's it. I mean, I don't understand what else.
Amazing.
Why do you need anything else? But that's a conspiracy, though. That's the conspiracy. That's what happened.
Kian, do you want to weigh in on this?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
So, do you mean to tell me that birth control controlled births?
That's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
Insane.
Bro, some said, you know,
We
sometimes
take that
it's right in front of your
we
face.
honest to God take that for granted, but we think about how we used to date before birth control and how we date after birth control.
Yes. Here's some of the things that I put together because it's absolutely, I tracked it back to 1965 because we talk about it on the PBD podcast where we talk about fatherless homes and the likelihood of what will produce a successful, productive member of society. And a lot of it is tied to the man being in the home, not just the woman being in the home. So this is what I wrote down as far as why are people having less kids. Feel free to say I agree, disagree, what have you. 1965, the Great Society, LBJ, basically said, you don't need to be married to your man. You can be married to the state. That's the welfare state. For every extra kid that you have, we're going to pay you more. Boom. That turned into marriage rates plummeting, birth control rates plummeting. Modern feminists, I don't need no man. We've talked about this a million times. Baby mama culture, hookup culture, abortions,
sexual
revolution, boss babes, get your bag, girl. You don't need no man. The future is female. Who run the world? Girls. We all know that after 35, there's geriatric pregnancies. You said after 40, there's a 5% chance of getting pregnant. Good luck with that. The cost of a child is now $250,000. Women are looking at their bag. All right, cool. Do I want to pay for this? But we all know the man's actually paying for it. Forget about that. Marriage rates plummeting. Social media shows up. What's one of those things you take when you take a picture? What is this? What's it called?
Selfie.
Oh, a selfie. That learns you to being a little bit more selfish, not selfless. So you're focusing on yourself. Traditional decline of family values. Decline in values in America. So there was a Wall Street Journal article. The decline values such as family, religion, patriotism, God bless America, community, and actually wanting to have children. The only thing that increased in traditional values is trying to make that money. So we're asking, like, what the hell is going on here in society? Now, you might be saying, well, Adam, you don't have any kids. Well, Michael, you don't have any kids. You have any kids?
No, not yet.
Men can have kids well into their 30s, into their 40s, their 50s. Al Pacino just had a kid at what age?
83.
187 years old. Rocky Marciano was 187. Joe Louis, below Joe Louis has. But women, you know, our beautiful friend over here, Rayan, she's going to learn. You're going to learn today.
No,
at one point,
a time clock.
the
I know
23, you're hot and amazing. Next thing you know, you're 33. You're like, I still got it. The guy that you thought you were interested doesn't want you anymore. Next thing you're going to be 43, and here's what's going to happen. You're going to go to the bar, you're going to get a drink, and you're hot, and you're usually used to guys bet you drink. And next thing you know, you're buying your own drink, boo. Not a good look. So that's what's going to happen there. Mic drop moment. So, let's start. Okay, this is our last segment. And take a break, a little kumbaya. Sorry, I just want you to go get married and have kids at some point.
Oh,
okay?
I definitely will. I definitely will. But right now.
You just went to I definitely will.
Like.
After maybe at 40.
At 40.
I'm just saying, I'm not going to say yes or no to anything because, like, you never know what can happen in life. Like I said before, you could die tomorrow. I'm not really thinking about that right now.
So this is where people walk into this trap every time, because you're talking about somebody that's been in the finance business and in the insurance business, and I know stats. The whole, I could die tomorrow. No, you're not.
You never know.
The likelihood of you dying tomorrow is so non-existent. The likelihood of you living to 100 is way higher than you dying tomorrow. So that's something, like, you know, they say prepare for the best, plan for the worst. Yeah. Prepare for the best, but we don't, like, everything. I could die tomorrow, but what happens tomorrow? Like, it's such a non-factor to me. Okay, there it is. Anyway, what are you doing after the show? Maybe we'll get a drink anyway. We got an Asian out here. Where'd your Asian friend go?
I don't know. She went back to do her.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much you want to just see her again on a show?
I want to see her on a show like great. A 10. Would I want to date her? A 0. But like, would I want to see her on a show? A 10. She's hilarious.
Very
Guys,
entertaining.
as we do at the end of these shows, we have what is called the happy ending. Let's bring it all in. Rollo's here.
We're in the trust nest.
Let's go. We're in the trust nest. The circle. Circle of trust. I thought I could. Yeah. What? So the happy ending. And this is another Wall Street Journal article. By the way, Wall Street Journal doesn't
sponsor
the show, but I fully endorse them because I've gotten smarter from reading them. But they actually revealed the secret to a lasting romance, which we'll show you in a second. Oh, here it is. The secret to a lasting romance
Doing new
is
things
doing
together.
new things together. Researchers have tips for how couples can connect through spelunking, stargazing, and sharing, what does it say? New things, guys. So couples who tried new activities together for at least 90 minutes a week reported increased feelings of romantic satisfaction, which persisted even 4 months later, right? No sugar highs. AKA spelunking, whatever that is. Ice skating, stargazing, cooking class, doing new things together. Couples who saw their partners as a source of insight, excitement, and new experiences had more desire for sex with each other. So there's only one person on the panel that's been married for at least a year. Well, I was, but that's a whole other story.
At least a year?
You've been married. Yes, I actually was. But you're the only person who's still currently married.
Sure.
What's the secret to a long, happy, sexual chocolate relationship?
It's understanding happiness, which is exactly what this is referring to. So happiness is not something that happens long term. It's not a destination. It's not some goal that you get to. Happiness is a proximate goal. It is not an ultimate outcome like you were talking about. There's ultimate outcomes and there's proximate. Well, when happiness is an emotion, and I think one of the greatest disservices we do to women is we teach women that happiness is something that they can achieve in the long term and maintain it long term. Yep. That's why we prescribe SSRIs, antidepressants for women way more than we do for men, because we have sold women on this idea that if they get married, if they do this, if they do that, if they go to therapy, if they go to yoga, if they go to whatever, then they will be happy. It's the carrot that keeps you going, right? Well, the problem with that is it fundamentally misinterprets what happiness is. Happiness is doing. We do happy. We don't get happy or be happy. We have to do things, and that's exactly what this is talking about right here. I do things with my wife. We're both in, like, we rescue greyhounds. Okay, so that's like one of the things that we have in common. Right? So we do things, and when you're doing things together, when you're doing, I'm just throwing out something cute, right? I mean, but we also raised a daughter from infancy to like 26 years old, right? So we have a shared history of doing happy together. So it's not like, oh, we're all just going to suddenly get to 65 and we're all just going to retire and have this nice, happy, blissful, joyous feeling all the time. You have to be doing shit. Yep. And I think whenever I see people trying to put a measurement on happiness, to say, well, the average woman is happier or unhappier with kids, without kids, like depending on who you're reading, it's all based on one fundamental bullshit premise, which is you can be happy, you can be content. And the human animal, the human nature of the condition of humans is discontent. and how you deal with that discontent. The things that you do that make you happy, it's also like depression or anxiety. It's an emotion that pushes you from one state into another. If you're happy while you're doing that thing and you're enjoying it and it's intrinsically rewarding, you feel happiness. When you are like playing guitar, surfing, doing art, singing, whatever it is that you doing comedy, I don't know, whatever that seems like your natural talent, it's usually because you feel good while you're doing it and you want to feel that feeling again in the moment while you're doing it. At the end of the comedy show, at the end of the gig, at the end of whatever it is, you might have a feeling of accomplishment, but that diminishes and it goes away and you come back. So discontent is actually a feature and not a bug of human nature. So doing things together rather than just sitting around and saying, oh, hope happiness like smacks me in the head today. That's not how things work. And so if you can understand that and you can work within that framework, you're going to have a much happier doing happy together than you would otherwise.
I hope you ladies took notes. Yeah. I'm going to ask the ladies a question. I'm going to let Kian weigh in, and Michael's going to get the final word, but Rollo just crushed it. Then we'll do super chats and we'll wrap up. You heard what he just said. Hopefully you were listening. That's great. You know, the one thing that one of the things I've learned from you is like the one thing you can't do in a relationship as a guy is be boring.
Yeah.
You got to do new things. You got to keep it sexy. You got to keep it fun.
Perfect is boring. Being perfect is boring.
Exactly. Yes. So that means some dudes are going to kind of mess up a little bit. Some guys, you know, they do some wild-ass stuff. But every guy, I would assume, and every girl wants that ride or die. You've heard this thing before, right? She might ride or die. What happened? Yeah, we broke up. So I guess she ain't riding.
She died.
What just happened to her?
She died.
But obviously, you know, Amy, you said this, you know, in the marriage vows, for richer, for poorer, for better, for worse, through sickness, through health, all that fun stuff. There's going to be some issues. Guys are always going to mess up. Guys are going to do something stupid at some point. You talked about if you submit, he'll commit, but also the reality is 70 to 80% of women are the ones that filed for divorce. What's the number?
70, 75.
70 to 75, and then it goes higher if they're college educated. Here's the question for the ladies. What makes you the type of girl who's going to stick it out? For richer, for poorer, for better, for the worse, for sickness to health? Because if 80% of women or so are going to cut and run.
No poorer.
Take that.
That's
right.
it.
No poorer.
No poorer. There it is.
What makes you
Don't
the type
get
of
sick
girl
or
that
poor,
will stick it out?
You're good.
Pretty simple question.
I think being like fundamentally based in reality is a good one, which again is why the red pill is good, because it teaches you to understand evolutionary psychology. Like there's just some things that are ingrained within human nature that are like they can't be changed, right? What Rollo was talking about, the happiness levels, that's one of them. I've always said that like success and happiness, it's the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, not the realization of it. That's why so many people, when they hit the goal, when they get the husband, they get the money, they get this, that, they're unhappy, they're unfulfilled because they stop striving for something, right? I think that at the end of the day, like the happiness, the fulfillment, it comes from the journey. And why I would stick by my man, number one, from a religious standpoint, but then number two, I mean, we're saying that, like, if he cheated or something like that, I mean, I'm just smart enough to know that if I leave him, the next man I date's probably going to do that as well. Like, there's some things that are immutable to human nature. Having an understanding and a grip on that helps you to move accordingly.
I'm just getting this, like, Curb Your Enthusiasm thing with a girl divorcing the man, and then she's like, all right, that's it. And then she sees like the next dude cheating on her, and it's just like bum, 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 but not that we're condoning cheating, but you know, you guys all sticking by Donald Trump's side, so let's pull a Melania. Toria, what makes you the type of girl that's going to stick through better, worse, poor, sickness,
forsaking all others?
I think above the red pill is the Christ pill, so take the gold pill. And it's just a matter of being loyal and looking for somebody who mirrors your own values. And obviously, you're going to disagree on certain things.
Why did you wait 2 hours to break that one up? We've been waiting for that all day. The Christ bill.
They don't let me talk because I'm more intelligent. So that is part of what's great about me. But also, at the end of the day, it's who you want to get a dog with. So, you know. I recognize our reality, and I would say
she waits to the end, and then it's like the Christ bill.
There it is. Okay, Rayan, what makes you the type of girl that's gonna stick it out?
The type of girl, I'm loyal. I don't know. I don't have like a full
You know what? That's
definition
perfect.
of it all.
She
I'm
don't
loyal.
know. She's still learning. That's probably the best answer.
But I'm loyal.
I'm not gonna
That's
say a
actually the
bunch of
correct
words.
answer. You don't know. That is
that's
accurate.
That's ding, ding, ding. That's the answer right
the
there.
one.
Hold on. I'm going to come to Jasmine last because I feel like she's going to say something. But Slow Jams, rap us something while you're the most loyal chick out there. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm the most loyal, not because I smoke weed, but I'm the most high, so I'm the most royal. I'm looking for my king because, you know, I'm a queen, and I hope we repeat and make from 2 to 3. Now I'm going to speak in English. Why I feel like I'm a ride or die chick. First of all, I look young forever. I'm black, so I will never die.
Black don't crack.
Then
That's certified
number
fact.
2,
I'm sold.
Number 2, you know, I got brothers and stuff, and uncles and a father and stuff. So I seen a man from every stage till he got in the casket. So I understand it's different eras you're gonna go through, different times you're gonna be really strong, different times you're just not gonna be in those few seconds. You better not be. And then, you know, I totally get it. I understand men evolve, men change. It's like watching your brother. I hope it don't sound weird or like incestuous or anything, but it's like watching your brother grow. Like, that's your friend, that's your man. You know, I'm there for you as long as you're there for me. We're all good till it isn't. So
Slow Gems, it definitely doesn't sound incestuous
Team
that
player.
you're looking at your brother that way. Not at all. Okay. Jasmine.
I'm staying because of the peace. I think that is something so important. I think a lot of us really go after happiness, but the truth is you're not always going to find happiness in every situation. So it is about being able to make peace and being able to find peace, whether that is through communication, through the hard moments, through the tough moments. I'm staying for that peace. And with my current partner, and I do see this going long term, we are both in it for the peace and both committed to working through any of those tough areas. He's a human, I'm a human. We're both going to have our bad days, we're both going to have our good days. I'm not there for him because I'm not with him because he's happy 24/7. I'm with him because he brings my soul peace and because I bring his soul peace. And that to me is more valuable than happiness.
Okay. Dude, you're incredible.
Thank you.
All right, Kian. You've heard all this. Final words. What do you want people to say? We talk about a happy ending right here. We want men and women to get together. Happy ending. What's your secret for a lasting relationship and romance?
I think one of the most important things is for a man to always be evolving in a way where he's ahead of his woman all the time in as many categories as possible in life. I think that's ultimately what leads to a woman continually finding fulfillment, is that constant respect that she has for him in that dynamic. And so I think as long as a man's consistently pursuing excellence within himself and looking to become more emotionally intelligent, finding more success, becoming a better father, a better husband in every single way, I think hypergamy is absolutely, it's not even a matter of me thinking. Hypergamy is an absolute real thing, but I think a lot of women will stick around a lot longer if she's seeing her man constantly doing that.
Gotcha. And you can learn that in MOA. Michael, final word.
What was the question again?
Secret to a long-lasting relationship and romance. You
Yeah.
heard Rollo,
Yeah.
your friend, your colleague, co-host, give an amazing answer.
Yeah.
What's your answer?
So it's going to be desire, like what he talks about before, but that's going to change over time because you're going to change over time.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to look the same. For me, I think it is a function of partnership and boundaries. You have to, are we on the same team? Do you respect? Respect meaning, do you protect? Do you protect the brand? Do you protect the family? Do you protect the crest? Do you protect the home? Do you protect the sanctity of our relationship? It's not, as a man, if I have an attractive girlfriend, I know guys are going to hit on her. That's not their responsibility to not hit on her. It's her responsibility to protect the sanctity of her nipples, her vagina, and her butthole. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? Her face. That's
In which
her,
order, though?
That's her job. Let's butthole first. It's her. Don't nobody clip that. It's her job to protect that. And so as a result, like it's our job individually to protect the sanctity of that. That's how you last forever. That fiery, hot, red passion, that emotional thing. It's fun when it's up here, but when it's down here, that's when she goes off and she embarrasses you, or she goes off and hooks up with your brother or some crazy shit like that, or files for divorce. That's all down here. Mm-hmm. That's why this is not how you have a long-lasting emotional relationship. It's the sanctity. It is the peace that comes from respect and from boundaries and from from setting expectations.
I think one of the big mistakes that people make about the red pill is that it's like very anti-woman or it's misogynist or everything. I have said this, and maybe this is a good way to end the show. I've said this before in at least 3 of my books. Men and women are better together than we are apart.
Yes.
We are innate, evolved, created, or evolved, however you choose to believe. We're an innate complements to one another. My strengths offset my wife's weaknesses, and my weaknesses are offset by her strengths. Okay, so when people throw this out, I've already been accused of this, of saying, "Oh, you're a male supremacist" or whatever. Like, I've been saying this since as far back as the mid 2000s. Men and women are better together than they are apart, and they are innate, natural complements to one another.
Clip that right there. Great segment right there, Rollo. Thank you.
Now take me off your list, DHS.
There it is. All right, guys. Amazing show. Everyone's bios, descriptions are in the YouTube below. Amy set that up. We got some super chats we'll get to.
Yes.
And we're wrapping up. Go ahead.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for super chats. I'm going to be reading them. We've got John Drops. Proxiology doesn't use data, but Red Pill is somehow proxiology. LOL. Dating prescriptions by Roosh and Rossi were the key. If that was the case, it'd be proxiology. Then we have him again. He says, why does proxiology brought up in 2011 for game, but it took the red pill from 02 to 11 to come up and mix it with proxiology? It's intellectually dishonest. Then we have Last Stop. Most conservative women are pretty feminist. They will quickly jump on the team women when they see fit. Then we've got our last few chats. The growth experience. Get your passport, fellas. This ship is turning around. Then we have Speed Dragon. W for the
ship is turning around, like back to America? Or? Okay.
Speed Dragon. W for the superstar Cassidy. Amy Nat. Keep up the great work. With Adam. Oh no. Then we have Zach Kroger. Hard to do new things with a partner when they are all a 20-year-old woman who wants to do is travel and find themselves. Also known to men as being a 304. And that is it for chats today. Thank you guys for chats.
Well, last thing, we're talking about 304s. This weekend in the 305, Sartain, we're doing a big event.
Yes, Saturday night. If you want to help us with animal rescue, May 18th, we are going to have Babes in Toyland Pet Edition that we're going to be doing at Hyde SLS. We're raising money for Project Fashion Tales. It's probably 400 girls and 100 guys coming right now. So you guys want to go to Babes in Toyland Charity, it'll tell you do have to bring a donation and also buy a ticket to come. And it is a white party. And even though it's a white party, I'm still allowed to go. But it's not just Rollo. I'm still allowed to go. So if you guys want to come out to our white party, please make sure you come out and do that and come support us. And
to be clear, everyone's invited. Black, white, yellow, green, Haitian, American, Jamaican, Puerto Rican. Everybody's Australian, even super white people,
listen, if Fresh is
super
coming,
black people,
if Fresh
like
is
Fresh.
Coming, you can
it's all good, of all different color
yeah.
palette shapes. Amazing. Thank you guys. Certified studs. Clearly the red pill's still alive. They out here. It's praxeology. And thank you, ladies. And Tori, you can speak whenever you want. Okay? I don't want to hear this.
We love to hear from you.
I received lots
And
of
thank
feedback
you
when
guys
hold the mic.
for being here every Tuesday and Thursday on the SOSCAST, only on Valuetainment. See you next Tuesday. We out.
Fuck the bear.
That was awesome. Okay. So